years I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
Welcome back. JR, are you in the building yet? Hello, JR? Are you eating? Are you munching on a sandwich or cookies or an apple? What's going on? Okay, hey Ron, how you doing?
I'm good.
All right. Somebody moving around in there. I guess that's JR. Mute your mic. Good Lord. All right. Okay, JR, are you all settled in now?
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. What's going on? Oh, so he dropped out. Okay, he'll be back. Okay, guys. It's one of those days. Keep us in your prayers, all right? How's everybody doing out there? It is quite, there he is. Okay, he's back. JR, be sure and check the private chat for that little message I dropped in there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, you got it. So, okay, yeah. So, hey to everybody. What's the weather like? We're up to 82 degrees here in the Detroit, Michigan area. What's it doing right there where you are, JR?
Oh, we got the chilly chill right here. It's very cold.
Ooh,
A little
rainy?
bit of rain as well.
Uh-huh.
So summer is well and truly over.
You stay better. Next week it'll be up to the 80s again. So you never know. But okay. Ron, what about in Texas? What's it doing there?
Hot as usual.
As you, yeah, you guys only got one season basically.
Yeah.
You know, me and my kids were in Texas. What was it? It was around Christmas, and it was the first Christmas I had ever had in my life where it did not snow. Yeah, she says 89 degrees. You know, Miss Wilson is down around where you are too, by the way, Ron. So shout out to her. Shout out to her, Felicia, Reza, everybody that's in the chat. Even if you're in the bushes, we giving you a shout out. You guys, what did you think of this episode, this final episode, Ready to Love season 10, episode 14, reunion part 2? What'd you guys think of it?
Well, I thought it was messy.
Good drama field, huh?
Yeah, you could say that. Drama filled, messy, and a couple of interesting connections blooming. One that I think actually might work.
Okay. All right. Well, that might work. Ryan, what were your thoughts?
I like the season, the cast. I think they were genuine. You know, with their feelings and stuff, a little less rehearsed than other seasons, I feel. So I can respect that.
Okay. Yeah. Do you think, and since I got you here, Ryan, I gotta ask you, do you think that the hiatus mid-season, do you think that kind of hurt this season at all?
At first I thought it was like big time hurt of the season, but the way they blended it together, it feels like 2 seasons. Now that I see that Detroit's coming on right after, and they're not doing 2 seasons in Philly, now I know why they did it this way. Now it makes 100% sense.
Really?
So now it looks like you had 2 seasons in Philly, which really they might not had the talent
Right.
of audition people to make 2 seasons out of Philly. So you had to stretch it in order to keep everything on contract. So it made it look like you had 2 seasons in Philly, even though you only had 1 season in Philly. You didn't have to go recruit 10 other guys, 10 other women, and you didn't have that. You might not have had that talent in your pool.
Okay. Y'all heard it here first on Actually Aubrey. Ron is giving us the tea. That actually
That
makes perfect
apply
sense
to the show, you
because
might not have had it.
right. Okay. I see what you're saying because they're under contract to own to have to, schedule out so many of these seasons, right?
Yeah, each city usually has two seasons, but like I said, if you didn't have the talent in there in order to make 2 seasons out of it, then I guess the idea was to stretch this one and make it look like 2 seasons in order to stay on contract, stay on timing, and um and deliver it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And you guys out there, go ahead and hit that like button as you're coming in the room. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Okay. Um, yeah, that makes perfect sense. But I am interested because whatever happened in Philly, I am re-energized now to see that they're going to be doing Detroit, and that's coming up apparently like in November. So basically a month away.
Yeah, or they could have filmed the second season in Philly and something went wrong, like with the cast.
Oh.
Something, yeah, so it could have been behind the scenes disaster or something like that, where they had to cut that season and say,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, we still on that time slot. Let's split the first season in almost like 2 seasons.
Wow. Yeah. Something happened, and I don't know. I think you're probably onto the better, more accurate reasoning from what you're saying than
Yeah,
anybody else.
either something happened or it wasn't enough talent that applied for that
Okay.
city. And like I said before, they put out some junk and have you with 10 dudes that look like Fat
Quasi,
Albert and they're
Quasimodo.
not
Sorry,
gonna do that. They're not
Quasimodo
gonna do
and
that no
Fat
more.
Albert.
They're gonna be like, yo, no, we ain't gonna not put out the talent. Just to squeeze another season in.
Hmm.
Um, we gonna do we'll rather stretch out the cast that we got. So
Okay, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Okay, guys. Well, we get started. We kind of pick off where we left off at with Rose. Rose is running the show this season, right? She running the reunion show anyway. And Rose is basically letting Cam have it because, oh heck, what was she letting Cam have before? Somebody help me out here. I got a whole complete brain fart.
Talking
Jerry,
about a potential pregnancy scare with
pregnancy
an
scare. Yep.
ex because she went through his phone while he was asleep.
Yeah,
And
Alexa. Okay, it's coming back to me now. Alexa.
right, so yeah, so she's going off on a tangent talking about he was asleep. She went through his phone, saw some messages, and came to the conclusion that there was a pregnancy scare of some kind, and she wanted him to clear it up on whether he's
Yeah.
expecting or not.
Right. Okay. Yeah, good point. Good point. Ron, what did you think? What did you think about her going through his phone? Do guys care if you're in a relationship or you're dating someone? Do you guys care if the lady goes through your phone while you're out the room? What do you feel like about that, Ron?
oh, I 120% care. I'll break up. I don't care if it's a marriage. I don't care if it's Valentine's Day. She go through my phone without my permission is over.
Oh, okay. Well, dang. I mean, okay, well, does that go both ways? So you're not going through her phone, are you?
I don't
No.
go through phones. I figured like for a man, there's probably 3 things. I got only 3 things where I
Hmm.
would like a little privacy at.
Okay. Tell us what
And
those
those
three
is
things
my
are.
work, my phone, my work
Okay.
computer, and I don't like nobody all in my bathroom drawers. Give me one drawer out the bathroom. If we sharing the bathroom, that's my drawer. Let me have a bathroom drawer. But besides those 3 things, everything else, I gotta have
But she
something for myself.
she might like your moisturizer. I'm not talking about the phone. I'm not talking about the work computer. All of that makes perfect sense. But talking about the drawer in the bathroom, Ron, she might like your moisturizer better than hers, or she might be all out and she needs to moisturize her face. She can't go in there and get a little moisturizer.
Nah, I gotta have my drawer. She got her feminine drawer where her stuff is. I ain't going through her tampons trying to find something. She ain't going through my shaving gels trying to find something.
Use the
Let me have my
tampon and
drawer.
stop a
I
nose.
got one out this whole house. I got one drawer. Can I get one
Okay.
drawer? And women gotta understand that sometimes you can't be doing everything. The guy, you know what I mean? A male has to have some point of privacy. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
when my girl was over here and stuff, she was, you know, on loving on me and stuff, and there's all good things and stuff. But I'm like, if I'm in the bathroom trying to have a little privacy in the bathroom, don't knock on the door. Let a brother breathe somewhere.
Hey.
Because men need that. Men need a little space sometimes in certain things, a little privacy in certain things. And like I said, it usually boils down to the phone, your work computer, emails, and stuff like that. And a little bathroom drawer where you could keep your little nose clippers if you got that. So something that what I mean, you guess is yours. So yeah, honestly, he took it very well. Cam took it better than most of the cast members I know on any other season. Because if you went to that phone, they would have been and you out in the stuff that's on the phone, it would have been a war.
Okay. See, Mimi said it. I definitely use my husband's creams and lotions, potions, and face wash sometimes. See, I know I wasn't the only one, but okay, I gotta ask you the same question, JR. Is it okay if a woman goes into your cell phone? If that's your partner when you steadily dating exclusively, is that okay?
Absolutely not. And especially if I'm asleep as well, and you take it upon yourself to go through my stuff. Nah. There are some things that we will always keep private. Like Ron gave the example of like the bathroom. There'll be some feminine products in her drawer, her cupboard, her stuff, whatever. But my stuff, in terms of my phone, absolutely no way is that acceptable. I don't go through phones. I don't go through drawers. I don't want to know what you got going on in that regard. I'm not a snoop, and I'm not trying to find something that's going to cause division in my relationship neither. So there's no reason for me to go through that.
Right. Okay. Well, you know what? Stay tuned. You're a mess. Stay tuned says, yeah, it matters. I'd rather my woman go through my bank account than my phone. She ain't gonna find much in my account. Crazy. This man is crazy. Well, okay, all right. So he said he don't care about the phone, but just
her using the last face wash. I mean, like you're using the face wash is fine until she use your last, and you go in there needing some face wash, your man face wash, and you thought you had a little smitted in there. Guys, we don't plan over, and then you go to get your little smitted out of there, and it ain't there no more, and she then used your stuff. That man gonna be furious. Trust me.
Yeah, Mimi, did you hear that, Mimi? Mimi said it's all right. Her man, no. Besides, women are the ones that usually go buy the stuff for the guys. We usually fill all the toiletries. We go to the store. We go to TJ Maxx or whatever, get our little face creams, lotions, and potions.
It don't matter. It's just the fact that somebody taking your last when you thought it was there. I remember a story when I was a little kid, and my cousins would come visit them from Detroit. You know what I mean? And my dad had a nice big house in the suburbs of West Bloomfield. And they coming in from the hood, you know what I mean? So this is like fun for them and stuff. They're like, we get to be in a nice big house and stuff like that.
Right.
So we thirsty. We didn't playing basketball and stuff as kids and stuff. So we come in, and that premium cranberry juice, the ocean spray at the time.
I know the one. Yeah, my daughter used to run through that. I used to make me.
Yeah, so my cousins, he go in there and grab the ocean spray. Like, oh, this is the good stuff. I don't get real juice at the house. And drank the last of it. And my dad came down thirsty.
Oh, not the last. I said you can drink some, but don't ever drink nobody's last.
He came out. Yeah, he came out that cranberry juice, and there wasn't nothing in there. And he went off. He was like, "Run!"
I know that. You there, Ron?
We got Kool-Aid, and then my cousins are looking like this at this big house, and like, we can't afford cranberry juice. What's going on? You didn't get the free.
That cranberry juice be $5, $6
You looked at my dad like, I thought you had like 36 bottles of this.
No, only 2. That was the last one. That's the last problem.
One. Like I said, you can't take nobody's last when they thought it was there. So that goes with the face wash. That goes everything in my bathroom drawer. I don't want my last smidge of toothpaste, but I'm thinking it's there. My last little whatever. I want my last little. That's why I know I'm out, and I can go run to the store, Amazon and stuff, and get what I need.
Your last little gulp. What about you, Aubrey? If your man goes through your phone, is that a problem?
You know what? That is so funny because I've never had that problem. Let me think about that for half a second, a split second. No, you're right. For me personally, I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like it, and only because, like you and Ron both said, it's like you're looking for something. You're looking for problems. You don't trust me. And the biggest part of that is you don't trust me. So if you didn't trust me before you went into my phone, then your mind is going to project and possibly create something where there is nothing. That's a problem. Like, why
Mhm.
can't you just talk to me and ask me? If there's something you want to see on my phone, ask me. But
Exactly.
yeah, I know I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. What you guys saying out there in the chat? You guys, is that okay? We know it's okay with Stay Tuned. He said it's all right with them. And wait a minute, what? Mimi, no, he don't. Mimi said sometimes her husband uses her shaving cream. So we ain't supposed to say, I wasn't supposed to say that out loud. I'm sorry, Mimi. Forgive me. Um, okay, so
Uh,
Miss Wilson wants to know why is Rose going through Cam's phone when she's dating two men at one time. You wanna take that one, Jr.
Yeah, I mean,
Your thoughts?
listen, she came out talking about these two guys ruined her happy ending. As far as I know, she got two happy endings.
I was just thinking the same. Exactly.
Yeah,
At
so
least, at
she
least two. At least two.
exactly. The only thing she seemed concerned about is making it to the bridge and having a big theatric. You know, um,
Mm-hmm.
do I choose you or not? That's what she's pissed about. That's her moment that she wanted. But
Yeah.
everything else she got. She got to date two guys at the same time. She hit the bedroom with both of them, and uh, yeah, even when Cam's messing around with other girls, she was still seeing him, laying up with him, found condom wrappers and everything, and still carried on. So she definitely had her happy ending. She's disgruntled and airing out people's business, and very unhinged as well. So she she can't be trusted. You know, you fall asleep around her, she's liable to go through everything and try and air out your business, or um, more importantly, just snoop and try and collect information to use against you at some point. So she's not really a safe space. And I was thinking to myself, what happened to this biblical Rose? You know, she went from biblical Rose to petrified Rose all in one episode.
Don't go all chazzy on us. What about you, Ryan? You think that it was fair for her? It's kind of like what you spoke to this audience before about when you said the women really want that picture perfect moment on the bridge. Do you think that might have been what it was, Ron?
I think a lot of things with her. I think she went into this. I give her credit at first. I think she went into it open minded and wanting to find somebody. She didn't want to leave alone. But then you get, like I said, you get into a situation where it's a game going on within a game and all this stuff, and it really doesn't go favorite to the people who try to play it with their emotions and straight and no game plan. So she's dating and getting emotionally connected with these guys, and I guess it led to some sexual encounters. Without her thinking, and some other things they got real emotional where she was going through phones and things of that nature, and she kind of got sucked in to the whole process, which happens. Trust me, when you're doing this live, you can get sucked in real quick. And I think for her airing everybody out, I, she I think production had her as like the whistleblower on this episode and that's why they kind of gave her a soft landing. If you kind of they had so much dirt on her, they could have destroyed her during this reunion. But because you got to have somebody who asks that hard question or asks that nasty question to the others and stuff like that. They ain't afraid to do it because Tommy can't do it because Tommy's the nice guy and the host. So production will have her yell out the stuff, all the tea stuff. She played a bad person, and in return, they'll give her that soft music. Oh, you've been through a lot, Rose. You know what I mean? To kind of soften her character out, to give her a soft landing and kind of roll her
Right.
out. Yeah, so that's
Right.
kind of how, the position she was playing on this thing. But I do believe she was hurt. I do believe she was emotionally invested for a little bit. At least she thought she was, and that's what happens when you get caught up in that the emotional ride of Ready to Love cast.
Yeah.
Oh, so
And
she go ahead, Jer.
yeah, I was gonna say, and she actually in the very first episodes was saying that she's a truth teller. And that's part of why I
And
feel like she feels justified in airing out people's business. She feels like she she's got the dirt on people and she's telling the truth about who they really are. But it's a deflection tactic because she's
It
really,
is.
she's really disappointed in herself and how her journey played out. And she's taking it out on the other cast members who she had connections with. So, it wasn't cool. And even people she didn't have connections with, like Eddie, she's trying to air out his business too, which we'll get to later on. But she just wasn't cool, man. She unhinged, and she has to really look at why she chose Cam and Hussein. Like Cam, from the start, we could tell they weren't compatible. She came out with the spiritual vibes, the religious vibes, and they didn't align there. So for her to continue the situationship after the show ended, that shows that she really lacks discernment, and she really wanted to end up with somebody. With Hussein, she had a lot of heat for Hussein. Look, the first part of the reunion, she was saying it was Hussein's fault, and she blames him. And in this episode, she's saying that Cam is the villain here, and he's the one that played her, and she feels played and used. No, Rose, all you did was pick two guys who you felt you had a connection with, and unfortunately, it didn't result in the happy fairy tale ending that you were looking for. But it was never going to be that way if you're dating both of them at the same time or sleeping with them both at the same time. Eventually it's going to come to light, and then you're going to have these two guys thinking you're not worth the time and effort because you're not serious. How are you going to expect any of these guys to lock in on you when you're seeing both of them at the same time?
Right.
It makes sense.
Sometimes the hardest part of the show, being a castmate, is coming to the realization that your match just wasn't on the show. And it's really not a hard realization to come out when you only got 10 people. I could meet 10 women in a gas station. You know what I mean? Like, so, but you come in, you want to find love. You want to, like you said, you want to make it to the ending bridge. You want to do all that type of stuff. And you're focused on that instead of focus on the fact that am I really compatible with these people? Is this really going to work? Am I really catching all the red flags and really dating responsibly? And then when you don't date responsible, and you get into emotions and you want both of the guys to like you and stuff, you end up making the mistake of sleeping or kissing with two people, and it always looks messy. I don't care who does it. It just comes out that way.
Yeah. I don't know. And to whoever asked me in the chat, would it be over? Like Ron said, it would be over if his lady went in his phone. I'm not gonna say it would be over, but we would need to have a few conversations about that and what's going to change in the future, because no, that's not cool. That's not cool. Like Ron and JR both said, that's just not cool, because it's showing me you don't trust me. You don't really believe in the foundation of our relationship. And
it also depends on what they do with that information too.
Oh, now that's a good one, because someone said it. I think that was Stay Tuned said it earlier about what if it's something that's been archived. I'm seeing a lot on reality TV now. This is past my era where I'm, doing, the dancing on the tabletop anymore. But let's say somebody, goes in your phone and they find some personal pictures. Let's call it that, personal pictures, because I'm certainly not sending any out. But if you go on my phone and then you download it or send it to your phone, and then now you start to share it with the world, oh yeah, we got a real big problem. Yeah, it's definitely over, and we got a real big problem on top of that. How would you guys feel if a lady went into your phone, not saying something that you sent her, but even if you sent it to her, but now she wants to expose you to the world? How would either of you guys feel about that? We'll start with JR.
Well, it's an invasion of privacy. So first of all, if you're going to do that, then you're risking me being able to put you in a predicament legally, because you can't be sharing information like that. And then, as you said, it's about having that trust and respect for your partner as well. Like there are things that we have archived You know, we used to have photo albums back in the day. We don't have photo
Yeah,
albums anymore. Nowadays, the phone is your
is
photo album.
is your photo album, right?
Yeah. So you chronicle different things you experience, different moments. You snapshot that, keep it in your phone, and that's personal. So if somebody decides to invade that privacy, go for your personal gallery or whatever, and again try to use that information maliciously, then there's no justification for it. They know what they're doing, and there has to be a repercussion for that. You know, depends how you want to take it, but I personally am looking to, I'm not going to be happy with that. I'm not the type of person to snoop through someone's belongings. I was raised correctly. I don't, if I'm in your
I love
house,
that. I
yeah,
love that. You
you
were.
know, I'm not going to be in your house,
Yeah.
wait for you to come out the room, make me a drink, and then I'm going to go snooping. Or if you fall asleep, I'm not going to get up and go through your drawers and things like that. That's crazy.
Hey, look,
So,
I don't know if they do this over in the UK, JR, but my girlfriend and I, back in the day, we used to laugh about this. So when we were younger women, were single, everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people, a lot of women had a thing. So you go to a guy's home, right? You get in his bathroom, his personal bathroom, and you always had to snoop and look in the medicine cabinet to see what type of medication he was taking. So
yeah.
one day, my girlfriend she went over her guy's house, and or the new guy house, and she opened up the medicine cabinet, and lo and behold, a whole bag of marbles that were loose fell out, and he was like, "Are you okay in there?" So he set it up so that when she opened the cabinet, all these marbles would make all this noise and fall out the medicine cabinet. So he knew that she was a snoop.
Oh, booby trap. Booby trap the police caught her in the act.
Yeah, right. A booby trap. A booby trap. Yep, a booby trap. Ron, you don't have any. Those are not any of your worries, right? Looking through the phone and the archived photo album type of thing.
No, but I think men get the rep on this where every woman think a man got something to hide in the phone. For one, if you don't trust the person, that's a whole different issue beforehand. But to me, it's not about what's in the phone. It's just the cringe of somebody going through your phone. Like if you're a woman and you
Mm-hmm.
came into you were looking for your phone and you came to your living room and I'm sitting on the couch with a pink iPhone in my hand saying, "Oh, hey babe." You're like, "What you doing?" "Oh, just going through your phone." "Oh, your mama called and Sheila said she can't make happy hour on Thursday." And you be looking at me like I'm crazy. Like you be like, "What are you doing?" I could be nothing in the phone. Like I said, no pictures, no nothing. But it gets the fact that somebody's doing that is just cringe. So it's
Right.
like
It
it's
is. It
whack
is.
regardless of
It
no reason
is.
why it should ever be done. Like I said, if you don't trust the guy, you got a whole different issue than what's in the phone. But if y'all can say, even when y'all got trust and you go, it ain't nothing in the phone. My dad would say, I can leave my phone out. Ain't nothing in the phone and stuff. We get it. But if you just walk down the stairs and she going through your phone and stuff, and you're like, what are you doing? I'm just looking through all your stuff.
Well, is there ever a time? Is there ever a time? And you guys in the chat, join in on this too. Let us know. Is there ever a time where the person you're dating, they ask you about something, and it happens to be in your phone, and they say, "Well, could you show me XYZ in your phone?" So is that something that if you're dating somebody and you care about them, that you'd be willing to show them? So let's say maybe it's something on social media. Maybe it's your page, your Instagram page, or your DMs or something. Is that an issue,
Hmm.
JR?
Well, I'll put it like this: like what might be cool and okay for me because it's my phone may not be cool and acceptable to the person that's doing the snooping. So
Oh.
yeah, so nah, there's no circumstance. And the thing is, even if there was a concern where my partner per se might say, "Oh, I want to see your DMs," or show me your messages, or this, that, the other. Like, why? Why do you need to see my DMs? Do I need to see yours? Is there something you're not telling me? It's usually the one that's doing the snooping is usually the one that's acting shady, and that's the case with Rose too.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Cam never asked to see her phone. Hussein never asked to see her phone. She was doing the snooping, and she was the one that's doing the double dipping too. So
The double dipping. Speaking of the double dipping, these are the two guys that she was double dipping with. Um, why do you think? Why do you think with Cam? I'm sorry, with Hussein, he said that Cam, when they came in to film the reunion, Cam basically had to pull him to the side and say, "Hey, man, listen. Before we get to it, I don't want you to be surprised, but your girl Rose and I were, uh, having a little adult fun, and I wanted you to know so you wouldn't be surprised or shocked." Why do you
yeah.
think that Cam did that, Ron?
Yeah, I mean, it happens right before the reunion usually because you're all the guys are usually together
Hmm.
and you got a lot of time you're trying to set up, so everybody talking. So it was. I remember our reunion. The girl I dated, I ended up finding out some information right before the, the reunion, finding that she
From
slept
a
with a,
from
yeah,
from another gentleman? Okay, from on your
yeah, from the
cast?
guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like,
Oh,
oh,
okay.
we slept with each other. And then you don't now you're complex. So you're like, I don't want to out that person, that girl, you know what I mean? But
Right.
but you're still feeling the pain from it.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so you find out some personal, we find out backstage more personal information than with everybody else, on the TV gonna know and things of that nature because we just got so much time to talk and put it at it. So yeah, definitely that's what most men would have done in that situation. Would have been like, hey,
Mm.
yeah, I got that too. This is when, like I said, I found out who, what, when. I even saw a text. He even showed me the text message. So like, yeah, it's something guys do.
Mm. So I think that Cam did that because he knew Rose's messy and was going to air it out. So he got there first.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, because obviously she did do that. That's a good point.
And
Yeah.
it's still going. It's still a bro code with the guys on when it comes to Ready to Love cast members.
Hmm.
And say I'll take every single season. The men are still so much tighter than the women
Oh, you
together.
mean in terms of tighter, in terms of friendship or camaraderie? I would say. What do you
The
mean?
bro code is strong.
Mm.
What? Yeah, the bro code is strong. So if I was trying to get a reunion, I had to get like every cast member together for every season and stuff in one room. I would get 90% of the guys. I would probably only get 40% of the women. 50, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's how tighter the bro code is between cast members than it is with the females. So yeah, the
Hmm.
men gonna take each other. If the men got time in the back to talk before the reunion, which you got hours and hours, we
Right.
gonna take each other's side for the most part.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
And
That's
you
interesting.
know
I
what?
don't know if the girls do that. I don't know if the women do that. Go ahead, Jr.
You know what? I just noticed. Look at these two pictures of Rose. Two completely different people. The
Well,
Rose, the Rose that we saw in the season,
mm-hmm.
more, comes across more
Demure, church
demure, yep,
church
calm,
lady.
composed, yep. And then you look in the bottom left corner, you see how the unhinged Rose.
She's rolling her eyes right there. Yeah, we're about to talk about this. So, JR, tell me what you think. Okay, so this is the part, the segment of the reunion where where they begin to talk about Rose's elimination by the guys. And of course, we know that Cam actually took her out on the date, but both Cam and Hussein did not like the fact that Rose did not disclose about her baby's father was incarcerated, had been incarcerated for several years, and she never shared that with the two guys that she had the closest connection with. Um, what do you think about that, Jr.?
Yeah, I mean, she was rooming with Hussein, um, and if she felt as passionately about Hussein, then at least share it with him, because she did bring her ex on the ex date, and obviously she could have had a conversation with Hussein then, if the connection was as strong as she's trying to make out. But at the end of the day, she chose not to, and as Hussein said, for him it was kind of too late in the process for her to be telling that information, especially in front of his family. And he couldn't navigate with her afterwards. And with Cam, she didn't even give Cam an apology for why she didn't tell him, but she deemed it suitable enough to still keep seeing him after the show. So yeah, Rose is a complex person. She displayed so many different sides to that. I don't know, that her scenario, her story. It took so many twists and turns, and she has the most dirty laundry at the end of it. So her trying to air everybody else out, it really showed more about her than anything else. Obviously, Cam, we knew that Cam was undecisive, and also that he plays the field. At no time did Cam lock in until the bridge, and by that time, Sahara had said no. So he has been playing the field since then. And Rose knew what he was getting up to. She saw the condoms. She saw the messages. She saw these other different things. So really, Hussein may have been a top choice, but she didn't do herself any favors by indulging in Cam. So
all right, well, go ahead, Ron. All right, go ahead, Ron.
Okay, the main question was, I'm trying to get back to the topic.
Oh yeah, that Rose that Rose was being eliminated. This scene right here, we're from Rose was being eliminated, and she got eliminated and walked off by Cam. Hussein said that he wished it had been him. He felt like he should have been the one to let her go gently or whatever. And then she's rolling her eyes. And what JR was saying was that we got to see two different sides of Rose. During the season, she was the church lady, the sweet church lady that was demure. But then at the reunion, she cuts out and all hell breaks loose. And I'll let you guys go ahead and Ron, you go ahead and talk about it. Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, yeah, like I said, everybody at first is gonna put on a version of the representative, which is what it is. And you know, like I said, Ready Love's an emotional journey, so sometimes that can't hold up. And the easiest scenario to play when you put on a representative is the church girl, good girl, because that's the audience. And with the audience who watches the show and things of that nature. So you want to put that on. But obviously, you're not the goody church girl sleeping with two men and not even a month of filming, 3.5 weeks filming.
Yeah.
So that ain't who she is. And then you correspond that out with some of the outbursts. You correspond that with who your baby father was. Not that it should be a bunch of judgment, because everybody makes mistakes, but any real man is looking for real marriage is going to take that in consideration.
Absolutely.
That the father been in jail for 6 years. You know what I mean? Like, he's done a serious crime. You're like, and that's who you pick. And I don't care what, if it's a violent offense, okay. Why are you dealing with men with this temperament? If it's a scamming offense, what would you into him because of the money and then this? You know what I mean? And now you're on the side. I'm judging all that because it was a real life scenario, and it's reasons for it. It's different with women. I hate to have a double standard. I'm sorry. I apologize to the audience for this, but women sometimes be like, "Well, you pick such and such and this and this and that," and women have to understand that sometimes men gonna pick wrong just for the chance to have sex, because it's not easily available to us all the time. It is easily available to you, the women, all the time. So when you guys make a pick, it usually should be more of a logical, more of a emotional, more of a substance there. A man's gonna make a mistake is because the girl was there, had a nice ass, and and he was in the moment or something, or he's in need, or it can happen. Those happen sometimes. So when they have a weird baby mama, sometimes it's just like, yo, man, it was one time, 2 times, and she was wearing this, and it's like some or whatever. He got weak, and it was a more sexual situation. But I look at it as, if you're a woman, you shouldn't be falling for sexual situations when sex shouldn't mean that much to you, when you can get sex from any guy at any time if it's just sex. It's usually an emotional bond. It's usually he made you feel a certain type of way, or he had this, or he had that, or you got to know him, or things of that nature. So I'm going to judge her a little harder for her baby daddy situation than maybe the other way around. And that's just me. That's just how I'm going to vent.
The thing with Rose is she's actually tried to portray herself not just with her representative as the church lady and all that, but the other side of it is she's also tried to portray herself as the victim in the situation. She feels like she's been used, and she feels like she's been deceived, and that's the source of her rage and why she's flipping out. But again, Hussein seemed to be pretty upfront with her. You know, he told her his reason why he didn't feel the need to continue. And if, with regards to her baby's father situation, remember, Hussein has a child too. Cam doesn't, but Hussein has a child to think about as well. So introducing the child to Rose and possibly building a family with her, there may be a chance that this X is going to come up in some way, shape, or form. So Hussein has to be mindful of that. But again, like, this victim mentality has got her in a position where she feels the need to air up people's business and be messy. And in this, she's burning the whole place down. and Cam, I think Cam deserves it more than Hussein, because Cam was the player. But yeah, she just going off on everybody that she had a connection with. And like I said, I don't think that's cool. I think if you consider yourself grown and mature, then the responsibility of being able to handle your emotions and convey and articulate your feelings in a manner that can be receptive and respected is paramount. Like, if you let your emotions get the better of you and you want to rant and rave and shout and do all these different things, you're not making yourself look good. And I think she didn't do herself any favors at all by the way she carried herself on the reunion.
And I agree with that in the victim mentality, definitely. But I must admit, I like me a little loyal lover girl like that. For a man that can handle it and that's emotionally strong, that can deal through her emotions, that can do that, those make pretty good girlfriend, wife, women. Like, you know what I mean? Because like I said, they are very loyal. They do fight for you as a man. You just got to be able to put them in a safe space at all times to be able to weed through the emotions that they have that comes with them. So I don't to give her props a little bit. I don't want to make this the trash Rose show, but I think she has a future in love with the right guy. And he's this, a guy that's this stoic. He doesn't get emotional. He doesn't move off his square.
Right.
He's able to handle through her emotions, put her back in her safe place at all times, and then can enjoy her loyalty, her extra love that she has to give, and things of that nature, and just put everything back. So yeah, like I said, I can see her in a, some women, you look at it, you be like, they don't got no hope. Man, that girl is gonna have 90 cats when she gets 60. But I don't think that's gonna be the question with Rose. I think she's gonna find the right guy who can handle her the way she is.
Well, I think she did find that guy in Hussein. It's just that she kind of blew it with the revelation. Like, Hussein comes across as quite stoic and quite reserved, right? And he's been giving her grace the whole time. He hasn't said anything detrimental about her or negative about her. Obviously, he's done some lives recently where he intimated that there may be some substances or whatever, but for the most part, he hasn't thrown her under the bus, and definitely not on the reunion. And quick disclaimer, the thoughts that we share are our own opinions based on what we see on the show. So it's not, don't take everything we say as gospel. We're giving our opinions based on what we saw. That's all. But so just had to put that disclaimer out there just in case. But I think Rose is not going to have any problems finding a guy necessarily, because she's very attractive when she is using her representative. But again, now that we see that there's this unhinged side of her, that's going to turn a lot of guys off too. I didn't get the loyalty aspect because, again, if we look at the timeline, this reunion was shot 2 months after filming at the bridge ended. So, and she said that she's been seeing Cam for 2 months, helped him move, do all this other stuff. So pretty much as
Oh,
soon as the show was over, her and Cam hooked up. Now, in that 2 month period between the end of the show and the reunion being filmed, obviously there's been some interaction with Hussein as well, but we just don't know to the level. But because she wouldn't answer whether they've been intimate or not. But
well, she did say they were doing what grown folks do
exactly,
to
Commando.
Tommy. So
Right. So in
I'm
8 weeks,
thinking that might be part of what grown folks do that are dating.
exactly,
We know what that was.
exactly. But
It's like some girls out here with a couple dates
right, but it just doesn't.
go down.
It wouldn't be good for her to just outright say that she's sleeping with both men. Like she didn't want
Right.
to actually say it out of her mouth because she
No,
knows
no,
the
no.
connotation that
She
comes with
did
that.
not. And to your point, I think it was you that said it, Ron. They gave her a really good edit. But now here's what
Yeah.
I want to say, and then we can move on from Rose. Like you said, we don't want it to be the bashing Rose show or anything like that. But my serious concern for Rose is this: where does she take in this season and particularly in the reunion, where does she take responsibility for her behavior? Yeah, she pointed out some truths and some things that we didn't know. She brought entertainment and drama to the reunion, but where did we see her take actual accountability, responsibility for her own behavior, her own choices? Did I miss something? I didn't see that.
I didn't see it either. It might be on the cutting room floor because the reunion may even be edited. But no, we didn't see any accountability from Rose. She had not one time did she say, she did something to actually contribute to the dysfunction that she's trying to air out. She didn't take no accountability.
Right.
I don't know how much accountability she had to take because let's face it.
Okay. What's your thought?
Cam was playing.
He definitely
Big
was.
time. I'm convinced that he was playing with her. And Hussein was that stoic, guy and things of that nature, but I don't believe he liked her enough. So when you got two guys that are mid-level interests and she's a lover girl, like she needs somebody all the way in, even more than what she's into it, to really put her in her safe place. These two weren't the guys. And I think trying to, have a sexual or whatever connection with him and stuff, that wasn't going to bring him there. I don't think in any scenario, any of these two guys were going to be all in the way she would need it in order to put her in a safe place and bring out that loyalty level that she says that she has, which I believe she has, into the relationship. The part that we're missing with Hussein is Hussein wasn't running around chasing her all. You know what I mean? Like he was. You got to be all in.
Yeah. He was kind of very laid back with all the ladies. Rose probably the least that he was laid back with, but he really didn't put. Let's just face it. None of these guys put any effort into dating any of these women, except possibly Fritz. This. Come on now, Ryan. Your era of men are not the best at courting ladies, dating ladies, and these guys act like they didn't even know that they were supposed to be dating. Because we're gonna get to one guy that wanted to wait a whole month before he took his lady back out again.
Oh,
and
yeah,
all
crazy.
the dates he took her on, the show paid for him. So I'm trying to figure out. I'm scratching my head trying to figure out what's going on. You coming across kind of dusty like now. Come on.
Yeah, well, men, like you said, a
Mhm.
man that has full interest is gonna put on the full court press. You ain't got to worry about
that part.
the cost
That's what
of
I'm
dinner.
accustomed to.
You ain't got to worry about the cost of the date. You ain't gonna have to worry about him not always coming presentative and clean and blazered up or whatever he put on because he's very excited to be around her and he wants to win her. But the problem is not the men when it comes to this. I believe women have messed this up.
Okay, how so?
Because usually a man is going to put on that full court pressure and all that really wants to be with a woman is enamored by her beauty, her grace, her class, and all that type of stuff.
Okay.
He might not be the guy. The women want the guy already 6'5", better looking than her, making a certain type of money. That dude ain't going to bring out no full court press. It ain't going to be no super courting going on. It ain't going to be none of that. He's not going to do that. He doesn't need to do it. He's not looking up to her on that type of pedestal to do it. It's a certain guy that will do it. You don't want him. And that's just is what it is. And then you made it known that you put those type of guys in friend zones. You do this to those type of guys. And now even them type of guys now are like, well, shoot, we're not even going to do it no more. Because it's a losing battle. It doesn't even work. So that's where you're not getting none of the courting and stuff anymore. Like, who does it work for?
Oh, wow. I think I want to come to this question, this comment that was made by Braylon that really stands out of my mind. And I want to ask you, Ron, what do you think about it? And what would you say? Can we advocate for mentally stable loyalty, though? And that goes both ways, because that can be a turnoff if you can't handle yourself well. It's not attractive for a man or a woman to move like that. And I'm assuming, Braylon, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm assuming you're talking about how bitter and provocative Rose was doing the reunion. I'm assuming that. And how she seemed to have it out for the guys, even the ones that weren't in her connection, that were just there, that were castmates.
I mean, you talking about a woman, a black woman from Philly, a little hood. Is she gonna be emotionally like this? Like that's just that's what you're gonna get. You know what I mean? On certain
we was
stages.
expecting that from Sahara. That's what we was expecting that from. So
she probably got a little bit. She got some of that in her too.
Oh, we saw that during the season. Yeah, we saw
Yeah,
that on
they
the
got
bridge.
some. If you're
We
dating
saw that on the bridge,
East
right?
Coast woman that you know she been through some stuff. These girls ain't 22. You know what I mean? They already been through some stuff. And yeah, as a black male, you can't call it mentally ill. You got to call it a some type of normal that you're gonna have to deal with a woman's emotions sometime. It's gonna be not make no sense, no logical sense, and it's gonna be all over the board sometimes. And sometimes it might be a little dangerous. But that's what you sign up for as a male. And from a woman, you need to understand that you can get like that, and you need to praise them men when they go through that BS you put them through when you go through your stages. Because your own girlfriends don't want to deal with it. Your own family members don't want to deal with it from you. So when you put it on that man and he stands up like a real man, don't judge you for it, and stand on the square and get you back to your safe place and deals with it, cook that man some chicken. God damn, stop being lazy.
I owe a friend of mine a couple of dinners in.
Talking about you don't want to do nothing. Knowing that you be crazy sometimes.
Yeah, we do.
Knowing you can break a few windows out of a few cars sometimes. Come on now.
Oh my gosh, why are you taking me back to these old memories, Ron? Stop it. What about you, JR? Do you feel like there's some kind of safety that people should expect, a modicum of safety, emotional safety and stability when they're dating each other, men and women?
Absolutely.
JR?
Absolutely. There has to be that emotional safety, and that comes with regulation as well. And again,
emotional regulation. Yeah.
Exactly. If everything that triggers you fly off the handle, you lose your cool, you get into your temper about it, you're not safe. You're not a safe person to be around. You're not a safe person to be with either. So again, you have to have the self-awareness to manage your own temper. You're meeting these guys, you're spending a couple of weeks with them. They don't know you as deeply as you think. So you have to, yourself better than anybody else. If you know certain things trigger you and it's going to bring you out of your character, then you do what you can to mitigate that. Again, it's accountability, and Rose didn't take that. Even when she was flipping out, she felt quite justified in airing out people's business, and she felt justified in blowing up on stage like that in front of all the cameras, national TV and international TV. She felt comfortable and right.
Yes.
To move the way she did. There was no apology. There was no accountability. Nothing for what she did.
Oh, This comment right here, this is it. Miss Wilson, you hit the nail on the head. This is what I think is where we're not getting we're getting a emotional disconnect, and it's choices, right? Rose, Miss Wilson says Rose chose men who are emotionally empty. I'll go you a step further and say emotionally unavailable too. When you get somebody like Cam that's sitting around with 3 women and he can't seem to pick, and he's going eeny, meeny, miny, mo, pick a tiger by the toe. That like playing schoolyard games with 3 women and their emotions and their lives. I know they're saying this is an experiment, but you should know before the last day, before the bridge, who you want to be with, who you think may make a healthy choice for you. Or if you're going, heck, if Cam had wanted to choose himself, I wouldn't have had a problem with that. But and then you got Hussein over here who's not, he's not connected to anybody. He's not really vibing with anybody. He's just going along with the flow so he can be on camera because they need one more dude for the cast. Like, what? Come on. Come on. But at the end of the day, I still have to say this to Rose. If you're listening, Rose, you have to take accountability for your choices. You have to take accountability for your choices. And if you need to be single and get, help, therapy, talk therapy, dating coach, whatever that is, then do that. Do that. It's okay. It's okay. Many of us, myself included, have been there. Had therapy, had coaching, had to talk to somebody, and it helps a lot. It really helps a lot. But you cannot put all of the accountability on your life, what happens in your life, on the people that come through your life, because at the end of the day, your life is yours and you got to pick the direction and make the choices so that it goes into the way, more or less the way you would like for it to go. At least start making better choices. So that's all.
Exactly.
If you're
That's
a
how I
lover
feel
girl,
about
you're
that.
gonna pick wrong though sometimes. I think the lover girl. I think
What's a lover girl?
it's a new term. This is what the new millenniums use out.
Okay.
You
What
would
do you
you would
mean?
look at it as the term like a pick me, but they don't like the word pick me, so they use lover girl. A lover
Oh,
girl,
okay.
and
Okay.
even on the like dating sites, if you go in there and a girl say I'm a lover girl, that means I love love, I love the love, I give my
Romanticizing
all
love
to
and
every guy.
relationships.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When I'm with a guy, if I'm feeling them, I feel them early, and
Mm.
I put a lot into it. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna take no 90-day rule for us to get intimate if it's going right, because I want to be hugged up with my man. You know what I mean? I have this scenario in my head that I want to be in a relationship with this particular type of guy, and this is how I want it to go. And I want it now. I don't have to want to have to wait and find everything. And they give that same energy and spirit to each dating situation, where a lot of other women to be a lot kind of more reserved or more this and more that or whatever. So those women usually get in a lot of relationships pretty quickly. Um, and it's the phrase "lover girl" comes out of it.
Oh,
But
okay.
they but they,
I like that.
yeah,
That's
and
interesting.
you can pick wrong like that because you're emotionally wanting something and throwing a shot out more than the average woman is, who is a little more guarded, maybe.
Oh, okay. Okay, but here's the thing too. So in all of that, going back to the therapy piece that I was talking about just a second ago, Ron, do you think that part of the lover girl slash pick Misha? Okay, I'm gonna go there for those people that aren't familiar with the lover girl term, like I wasn't a second ago. Do you think a part of that is also coming from internally a person not really loving on themselves, not being comfortable in their own skin? Because that's what it feels like.
I mean, we all got trauma, but I mean, I
Yeah.
like a lover girl because I just believe
Mm-hmm.
the action that she takes towards finding love and finding a relationship is going to get her to the finish line. She's going to get in the dating marketplace, which I was in heavily, so I know it. She's going to
Mm-hmm.
find a husband, I believe, before the more guarded one who's not taking that much action towards it or not making it first priority.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I've seen lover girls. I've seen them end up in long-term relationships / marriages
Mm-hmm.
quicker And then
Quicker than
some of
the
the other
ones that's
women are a
all
little bit more,
guarded. Like
yeah,
maybe say,
guarded,
well,
career first, this first, that first. Uh,
look, like what are we to compare? Just say for the sake of comparison for this season, what we saw on the edited show, Deanna compared to Rose seemed to be more guarded, more into her career. She's very busy. She don't really have time for the dating. It's got to be, she's got a very hectic, busy professional life. We understand that. So I see what you're saying, but I think the other component would be what Mimi is saying here is before jumping into the bed, get the data that you need to see if this is the person that matches who you want as your desired partner. See if that stability and that support is there that Ron, you even spoke about, that a man that makes a woman feel safe, right?
yeah.
And protected and can even put up with a little bit of crazy. Oh, I got a couple of dinners to cook, I swear. But anyway, but and that makes sense what you're saying. It makes sense also what Mimi's saying. All of these things kind of got to come together. It's like a chair. A chair has more legs than just one point, right? One little stem. Most of them do. Like you're gonna have, like, let's say 3 legs or 4 legs on a chair. Okay. And all of those 3, 4 things are important together. So what you're saying, being vulnerable, being able to be emotionally vulnerable, being open to love and not being so guarded, that's a leg right there. Um, Waiting before you get intimate physically with a man is also a point, because we're going to talk about this a little bit later on. The lady that got intimate with the gentleman, and then he's talking about he don't even want to take her out to McDonald's for a Big Mac. Like, what's going on? What's going on? He talking about he want to take a 1 month break. He lucky it wasn't me, because I would have told him what he could have did with his 1 month break. But okay.
Yeah, I
um
think Rose's situation is a little different because I just think, granted, she slept with 2 guys, and some of the guys that should, from the sense of the show, she shouldn't have done that. But I just believe that's kind of how she moves. I believe she likes sex, and she's entitled
yeah,
to have it if she likes
absolutely.
it. Like not all women are like, oh, that was a bad mistake. She didn't look like she had any regrets.
That's true.
Well, it was the eye roll that did it for me, because while you, as a woman, all of us are going through this. We're like in this feminist environment, and it says that, for many years now, like going back to the 60s, where it's free love and women can do this because now that they've discovered birth control that you can take and not get pregnant when you don't want to. That's part of the reason why women became liberated. But the reality is women are cut differently from men. We are emotionally and physically cut differently from men. We experience intimacy, and generally speaking, not across the board, not all, not everyone, but most women will become entangled emotionally with the man that she has physically slept with. Where we know men can sleep with women all day long, different women, and never have any sense of an emotional entanglement.
I get that, but I think some women too are a little more promiscuous than others. I mean, when she was talking about the Hussein, about that little clip where they were talking about having kids and if they adopt and stuff like that, and she made the emphasis saying, we gonna try. Oh, we gonna try. Oh yeah, like that's a woman that might like to get it in sometimes. So
I'm
I
mad at
don't
her.
judge her.
That's not the part I'm saying. I'm not mad at her for wanting to have hot and heavy time. I'm not mad at her. That's a good thing. But where is the balance? Where is the balance? Women don't have the same capabilities. I believe, this is my belief, we don't have the same capabilities of balance emotionally once we've been physically active with a man intimately that a man has. Men will have the ability to, a lot of times, to be unclouded by physical intimacy, and they will just continue on and use their logic and their good judgment, oftentimes, not always. But women, on the other hand, once we've slept with the man, our judgment is clouded. Like why is Rose over there packing for, give you an example in my mind, why is Rose over there packing for Cam to move when he's the one that booted her off the show, but she's sleeping with him, so she's wanting to do extra for him. Like, I ain't got a problem with her sleeping with him, but why you got to be all over there packing his stuff? Doesn't he work at the firehouse? Why the guys ain't over there packing with him? Like what?
Mm.
She's still looking to, you know what I mean, to connect. And she like I said, she might have had a phobia or fear of leaving the show without a man. The failure of it. I mean, because that's what we call it as us, the fans of the show, as the audience. You don't leave with a match, we call you a failure. We say you're not ready to love. Like
Right.
some of that stuff is not fair. But you have women that don't want to deal with that and will do the extra mile to try to say I made it. I haven't connected. I'm dating this person when the show airs, or I made it to the bridge, or even if I didn't make it to the bridge, me and them are still dating. We're still connected. I'm not another failed relationship on Ready to Love. Take number 120. You know what I mean? Like
Is it
I
really like that, Ron? Because I
I mean, it's
mean,
a
like
lot, but you know what I
it,
mean? You want to be when you go on the show, you want to be the one to say, yo, I was a success out of all those, a lot of failed relationships and things of that nature. I was good enough. I was the one that was able to make it. And you go into the show with that mindset. And when it doesn't turn that way, you feel like a failure a little bit. Let's just keep it real.
okay. Okay. All right. Well, uh going on to the next situation that we got here. Uh you got your girl. Well, we bring on Eddie. We talk about Eddie. So Eddie, he's super handsome. Some people have told me that they've seen Eddie recently on Tracy Ellis Ross's new hair care product line. I think Patterns or something like that. He's a model for that, so he's doing quite well. And also that he's turned on what was it? JR Cooley. He turned on Cooley to some modeling gigs too, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about Eddie and his journey on Ready to Love. The women didn't feel that he was quite ready, so he did get kicked off. But doggone it, Jr., you're blocking the picture of of Eddie, but all that curly hair, he know what to do for me because I love a man with curly hair. He's got beautiful skin, beautiful smile. He's just so handsome. Um, and Cooley, she says, well, you know what it is that when he told me I couldn't kiss him because he was worried about what Deanna and Angie might think, I had to let it go. What did you think of that, Jr.?
Yeah, he made a smart business decision. I said it at the time too. Um, he was more concerned about, being committing to her with that kiss and what it
Right.
might possibly do to the other connections. But ultimately, it didn't matter anyway. They voted him off for, they said he drank a lot and he didn't take the process seriously. But I think it was a little premature. I didn't see any evidence of him really drinking and all of that. But they did, and that's what's important. Um, Coley got voted off for the same reason. They said that she was kind of drinking a lot, and
Oh
you know,
wow.
so um, yeah, I can see why a lot of ladies like Eddie. He tall, he's
Hmm.
obviously blessed and gifted in the looks department. Um, and unlike Cisco, he seems to have the right frame of mind. Have a job, stable job, and then do your modeling on the side. And if it takes off, then it takes off. But always keep yourself in stable employment. And that's one of the things we didn't hear about Eddie, which is that he's unstable or anything like that. So I think the only thing we found out at some point on this reunion, can't remember who said it. Actually, no, it was Coley afterwards in an interview. She said that he's got a child. He's got a daughter that he didn't actually mention while on the show.
Ah.
Yeah,
Oh, a little secret daughter that he didn't talk about.
right.
Okay.
So they suspected that he had a girlfriend the whole time while the show was being filmed, but it could actually have been the fact that he's in contact with his child's mother, despite them not being together in a relationship.
Right, right. I agree with you. Any thoughts on brother Eddie, brother Ron?
I mean, I agree. Like I said, he hit the genetic lottery. I think Cooley did too in her aspect. So she thought her only match, her best probably match was him. like I said, these girls, women these days, and men, like I said, but they're gonna think like that. Where instead of and she went for the kiss. I've been in that situation. I didn't take the kiss in my situation because, like you said, it kind of forced you to be kind of locked in. I feel with that person that you kiss with, especially in their situation where, like you said, they both hit the genetic lottery. And everybody's gonna be like, okay, well, we ain't about to compete with that. And leave it alone. So
That's
I
what
think,
I thought when I saw them sitting on the stoop together. I was like, well, dang. Like, what?
so yeah, everybody
These
else,
are two beautiful people.
yeah, it would have alienated the rest of the cast. I felt if he would have done it, he knew that he didn't do it because he's like, yo, I'm gonna need more than one vote to stay on this thing.
Oh, okay.
As soon as somebody see this, they already gonna be like, well, shoot, why wouldn't he choose her? Why would she? You know what I mean? Like it would be like that. He wasn't trying to do that, so he didn't go for the kiss. She took a lot of flack for it during the season. I don't know if y'all remember that part of the season.
Mhm.
For getting dodged on it.
Right.
It was unfair flack. So, now she's probably in her feelings. So that kind of messed up that whole connection there. And that's just is what it was. But everybody had great stuff to say about him. So he's probably a nice guy, probably a cast favorite, with the guys and the girls. As just a good dude that looks out for everybody. So shout out to Eddie. And yeah, hopefully his modeling and everything else is taking off.
Right. I like that she said that she wants to try and then that's it. She doesn't do that back and forth, talking about Cooley now with Eddie. And
Well,
she
I don't
said,
think she could because, like I said, she took so much flack
oh,
when he
okay.
dodged the kiss. Like, what she looked like running after him now. You know what I mean? It would have looked horrible on her behalf. Like she would have been almost, yeah. So she had to stand on her ground. I'm glad she did. But yeah, after the flack she took, there's no way in the world she could have ran behind him. He would have had to come to her and say, "Yo, I'm sorry, baby. I'm on bending knee right now."
Did a boys to men, huh?
Yeah, and a guy that looked like him is not about to do that to most women,
Right.
if not any. So yeah, that wasn't gonna happen.
Right. Okay. Um, I'm having my situation again, so I'm gonna have to let you guys start this off, and I'll be right back. Um, we're on Jay and Kiera, and what ended up not being my man. JR, you want to take the lead, and I'll be right back. Okay.
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 So with Jay and Kiera, obviously they're not together, and Jay was saying the reason why is because he burnt out. He just did a good amount of time together, spending most of the day together. And when it came to being together in real life, he was like, "Nah, I need a break. I need to settle down first." Now, Kiera, obviously, she's not going to sit around and wait for a whole month for him to gather his stuff. So it just shows a incompatibility in how they approach relationship. Kiera wants to be, wine and dine, taken out, going out to date. She wanted the same level of dating to continue outside the experiment. And Jay was like, nah, he gets more satisfaction from laying up and just having heartfelt conversations and stuff. So a clash of styles means it wasn't going to work. And now we find out that Kiera's got a new man anyway. So all that my man, the whole season, within 2 months of the show ending, she's now locked in a brand new relationship. What are your thoughts, Ron?
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, here's the thing with men and dating, and this is where I go bad on some of my men. The reason why we don't have as much black love as not the main reason, it's a bunch of reasons, but one of the reasons we don't have as much black love as we supposed to is men these days do not want to take on the responsibility of it. And Jay was never seemed like the type of person that wanted the responsibility of one woman every day, courting, the marriage. And that's a lot of responsibility on a man that's not serious. And like I said, like you said, he's used to putting in bare minimum, probably with dating multiple women at the same time. If you saw him in the lounge when he said, "Ooh, I got a bunch of bees. I got," what I mean? Like, that's just, you've been in the club grabbing numbers, bare minimum dating, and this and that. You haven't really knew what it was like to put in that full responsibility of courting a woman, being with that woman, taking care of her emotionally, physically, financially, and doing it with the eyes of the world on you, because you guys are supposed to be a couple because you made it towards the bridge and things of that nature. It's a lot of responsibility on a man. He didn't want it from the get-go. That's why he took a week. That's why he took a month. And then she wanted to go out to eat. And let's just get face it, she looked like she can eat. That girl, like, she can eat. So they was
Now,
going
Ron.
she wanted to go steak. No, I didn't mean like she's curvy. I didn't mean like she's
She's
overweight or
very
anything. I just meant,
curvy. Yeah. Okay.
I live in Houston. These women at Houston like to eat.
Oh, yeah.
And it ain't no going
Yeah.
to no Chili's. You ain't going to no chain restaurants. They don't want to go to no quick Chinese. They don't want none of that. These girls are eating steaks and lobster on Tuesday. On Tuesday. That's what they like. That's what they want. And they'll eat. They'll go out to eat every day. Ain't no home cooked meals. Ain't no nothing going. They want to eat. They got 10, 15 new restaurants they want to try. They got it all on the list, and they'll give you the list. And this is the 2-week schedule, 3-week schedule. And if she's like that, and he already dating other women and things of that nature, or like he said, I got a bunch of bees already and things. I'm used to giving minimum effort, and I'm not used to being responsive, having that responsibility in a relationship for a woman. He ain't about to invest all that money into her and doing all that. And like I said, coming from what he wore to the bridge and stuff like that, I know he said cybersecurity and IT. I don't even know if he got it like that. To be dating is expensive, especially on the East Coast. But come on now, each date $250, $170. You know what I mean? She want to go 3-4 times a week, like he was saying. He might not even have it to keep up with it or want to invest that. So she needed a man probably a little older, a little more that's used to that type of lifestyle and the whining and dining type of stuff and things of that nature. Maybe he does it with the company card or whatever he does, and can court her property and what she wanted. I think she went to go find that, and I think Jay went back to playing.
Right. Anybody can answer this. JR, Ron. Okay, so Jay pointed out that they were around each other for up to 16 hours a day, every day for a month. And he says, unpopular opinion, most men would have needed a break after that experience. But what I'm guessing, but you tell me, first of all, Ron, you were in the actual Ready to Love experience. Were you guys around the same women all the time, 16 hours every day for a month? Is that how that really goes? Because that doesn't even sound like SAG-AFTRA laws. Like, what?
You can be, because like I said, when you're not filming, you could choose. You're going to be on the phone with that woman a lot.
Okay.
And you're going to be going on your own dates, maybe with that woman, or at least, chilling. But a lot of phone time. Definitely. Especially if that was his number one. And
okay, so you say it combined, so it may not be all in person. Some of it might
no, it's definitely not all in person.
8, 9, 10 hours. Then you're on the phone for another 2 hours, so that's 12 or whatever.
Yeah, the dates that they bring you on, that's not a lot of time. You be done. You be in and out done things in an hour and a half. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm thinking. So I'm trying to figure out where does he get to 14 to 16 hours?
If they live real close to each other, let's say she lived 2 blocks away or something like that, there's a chance she could be over there a lot. Or there's a chance that, like I said, but definitely a lot of phone time. Sometimes you're on the phone with the person 3-4 hours a day. Towards the night and things like that. But the 16 hours is excessive. It wasn't all that. But to his defense, men sometimes do need a little period. Men are wired different than women.
Right.
And we need that little time sometimes to miss y'all. To understand, we need even a little time to maybe go out and go on another date with somebody else, or go out to the club and find out for ourselves and remind ourselves there's nothing out here, and then run back to y'all, missing y'all more.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and a lot of women don't give that grace, and that they don't know how we're wired, so they don't give you that grace to say,
Okay.
let me leave them alone for a couple of days. I know how men are, and I know they need that little period of time to miss us a little bit. We can't, and we're not gonna get that if we twerping on them all day long, 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Okay, I'm just laughing at stay tuned. He says these women can eat as much steak and lobster on a bed of caviar all they want on their own dime. Because on my dime, we're gonna be at the Costco food court until we're engaged.
Shit, you ain't dating no woman in Houston.
Mm.
JR, what about you? You think the woman and y'all need to go to Costco food court? What's going on?
Man, I can turn any date fun. So it don't matter where we go to eat. But what I would say is whether it's 12 hours, 14 hours, or 16 hours, that's a lot of my man that you're going to be hearing over that time. I would have gone crazy too. I would have needed a break too.
Ooh, come on now. Come on. Come on. I
Yeah.
was serious.
Yep. I think, yes, they were locked in and they seem to be, on a good trajectory. But again, I think it's a clash of dating styles. The expectation for Kiara was, she wants to continue to be, dated, courted, treated like a princess after the show. There's nothing wrong with that. It just didn't align with what Jay was looking to do. Jay wants to chill with his woman and lay up and talk and spend time together.
Oh, now lay up. Hold up. Stop right there. Lay up.
Mhm,
When he said the lay up on the
mhm.
own international national TV show network, I
Yeah.
was livid. Like, what in the world, black man? What are you doing? I'd rather lay up with her, but her idea of a good time is going out eating. That
Mhm.
was not nice at all. Now you can't tell me you thought that was nice. How did that sound? Like if you're somebody's coworker, if you're somebody's parent, you're Kiara's parent, you're her coworker, you're her girl, and to hear this man say he just rather lay up. What does that sound like? That sound like a bum to me. What do you think, JR?
Um, yeah, I equate the word bum with someone who's unemployed. Now,
Okay, well, okay,
so I wouldn't say that.
maybe I misstated. Now you got a better give me another word. Okay, not bum, but like why is he?
He's a
Why,
lazy dater, is what you're
he's
trying to
a
say.
there you go. Thank you. He's a lazy dater, but not only that, I guess what I didn't like as a older woman, I did not like that he didn't protect her. He didn't protect her dignity. He didn't have to say it like that, lay up. He could have said, I prefer for us to, be at home, be in be in a quieter setting. He could have said anything like that, but his poor choice of words was horrific. And then you say, well, like, even Tommy told him, he said, well, you know what? I like being at home too. But guess what? I got a wife. I got to take her out. I got to wine and dine her. I got to add some adventure and some excitement into our romantic life. That's where women and men oftentimes are wired differently. So
Mhm.
why did he have to say lay up like that? That was so. And then why did he have to say that she likes to eat like that? I think that was, I think that
Shade.
was him being shady. Yes, exactly, shady. Thank you.
Mm. Well, Tommy does have a point. It's important to still keep dating while you're married to keep that spark there. You can fall into complacency when
Yes.
you've already locked the person down and you see them every day and all that stuff. So there can be an element of, not putting much time into courting and dating because you're already married. But in this situation,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not saying Jay was right. No, I mean, you have to go
Okay.
out on dates. You have to get to know each other. I think what he was trying to say was, listen, we did all of that. We did all of that on the show. We did dates. We spent time together. We did retreats. Now in real life, life is not like that for me. Life is we spend time together and we're in each other's presence rather than being out on show in restaurants, bars, diners, wherever you want to eat all the time. So, like I said, I think it's just a difference of relationship styles. It didn't work. And thankfully, she's found someone that is more suited to her in that respect.
I see it in two different ways. I get what Jay's saying because I say it all the time. Like women's expectations of dating has gotten crazy. But like I told you, a spot on a Tuesday, that's a nice fine dining spot. Women are going on dates there on a Tuesday, and this would back in your day, Aubrey, would have been your 1-year anniversary dinner.
Got you.
It would have been your not even a regular birthday. It would have been
like
your 40th birthday.
Right. A big right. Okay, I got
they want to go, they want to do stuff like this 3 times week, which is no. These dudes are putting their foot down on some of that stuff, especially if they ain't, if they don't spend it like that. I ain't gonna say what he has and what he not. I don't pocket watch nobody, but some people, even if they do have it, they just don't spend it that way. Everybody has their own way of spending their own money and or how they do it. With that said, this guy, people come on the assumption that just because we're on Ready to Love on a dating show and we sign up to go to a dating show, that the cast members on this show are desperate people who don't date in their city. And it's the biggest BS that ever came to the show. That it's opposite. These are the best daters in your city. Some of them are. They're handpicked. So when I was dating like Chrysanthemum, like I said on the show, I wasn't worried about the 10 men that was on the Ready to Love cast on the show. I was worried about the 3 million men in Houston that I had to compete with when the show was over. Because I already know these people are coming in with options and dating other people and they got a roster and all type of stuff that's going on. Some of them. They look good. They're just, successful. They're single. Of course, they're going to have options. So, yeah, Jay, like he said, going back to his caption on the thing, man, I got bees. I got women. He said that on his, they snuck it real quick, but if you listen quick, he said that.
Oh, wait.
He had a roster.
I got that. Oh, here we go.
I got a roster. Again, I got a roster. I already got a team of women. So if you got 5, 6 women anyway, you can't date all of them and take them all to a nice steak dinner. You will be broke even if you're rich. So your demeanor is already going to be Netflix and chill. That's all you can afford to do with 6 women. And she's just part of the train. At this point, she the caboose. So she really about to she don't even get the Netflix and chill. She get a wait a month. So let me get these girls back stable, get my team. Because, I've been away from my team of women for about a couple months dating you. Let me get them back together. And then let me try to pull you in to the roster. I need
that's
a month.
What it was. Okay.
Yeah, I need a month to get everything.
It's another Cam. Okay, I feel you. I see where this is going.
Yeah, she ready to go. She thinking we made it to the bridge on TV. Now we really about to be in a full-fledged relationship. It's about to be some courting going on. It's about to be this, and we about to have this big love story. And she's falling into the whole dramatics of the show. And he was like, okay, I did it. I made it to the end, did my part. I got a whole team of women. I got to get back on track because I've been away from them. Get them back. I'm going, it's real life. When he meant real life, that's what he meant. He said, I'm going back to real life. I mean, I'm going back to who I was before I started this show. And I'm getting my, I got to explain to them women. It was just TV. We made it to the end with her and stuff like that. But now I need y'all back. And most men, if you're dating multiple women, you're going to get low effort because they don't have enough time and they don't have enough money to court everybody. And that just is what it is.
Okay. Some people are saying, and specifically Miss Wilson, I think she's right. She said, I told you guys that Jay and Kiera reminded me of Joelle and Vernisha. That's right. That is exactly right. I can see that.
I think the crazy part is when they met Jay's parents, they're pretty much saying, he's kind of like a sheltered dude. He's had a long-term relationship and don't really get up to much. So for him coming out now saying, man, I got a roster of bees or whatever he said,
right. Yeah, bees. Yeah, he did. Came back backstage and told his boy Cisco and 5x3 told him, that didn't mean nothing to me when they said, were you surprised? That didn't hurt me. Nah, man, I got a roster of bees. Like, what?
I think he was showing out in front of his boys. I think he's just trying to save some face,
Nah, he ain't saving no face. He do. Like I said, they cut the people castmates on these are not bad daters. They're not ugly people. They have options. They live in big cities. This is not filmed in Iowa. This show is filmed in big cities with a lot of black women. And a lot of these guys,
that's what I'm saying, Felicia. Ain't nobody.
You'd be surprised. You'd be
surprised.
Very surprised.
Well, you know what? No, because you know what? Peeing and eggs. Y'all guys go follow the channel. You know about peeing and eggs and put a ring on it. You guys go back and look at that. Peeing and eggs. That was a whole thing with a guy that was bummy but had the peen and he could make some eggs. He had a whole woman taking care of him. So you know what? Yeah. It happens. I believe it does happen.
A person who it's not about. If you live in a big city with a lot of women, a lot of options, it's not about how you look, what your job is, and all that type of stuff. The one thing that's going to have you get a lot of women is how much action you put in. If you outside all the time, you're going to get a lot of numbers just by default. It's, you know what I mean? Okay. It's a numbers game with men. Men play the numbers game. Women don't play the numbers game. Men play it. And if a man play the numbers game long enough, he's going to have a roster. I don't care if he's fat. I don't care if he's 5'5". I don't care if he's dressed bad. I do not care. If he plays the numbers game long enough and hard enough, he's going to have a roster of women in a big city.
You taking me back to 90 Day Fiance. Anybody know Colty? Colty keep a woman, a beautiful woman at that, and he ain't physically nothing to look at. And he got a
some woman gonna give you a chance.
They gonna give you a chance.
What's that Marvin Gaye song?
What?
Keep on dancing. What did he say? He said, "Hey, if I stay around here longer, somebody gonna give me a dance in this."
It's Mimi, you cracking me up.
Somebody gonna give me that. Let me go. And I be telling all the time. I remember I was at this weekend. I'm at a bar because my boy best friend Lowe's from Chicago was staying with me, visiting me for the Black NBA Association that went down in Houston. They do it once a year.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Tell my daughter about that. But go ahead.
And it's a big, out of shape guy, older, don't look very put together. That was at the bar.
Don't look model-esque. Okay. Yeah.
And a woman had a nerve to kind of come by us, kind of clown. I can't believe that dude tried to ask my number and try to do it so confidently and things of that nature.
Right.
I said, yo, that guy goes to this bar, stays at that same spot every week. You think he keeps going because he's having no success at all? I think even he gets lucky sometimes. And the person he got lucky with probably looked it better than you. And he's coming back every week to see if he can regain that luck again, that one lucky day. Because the sun shines on the dog's ass at least once.
Right. And a broken clock is right at least twice a day, right?
If he put enough effort into being out, he's going to get lucky.
Listen, Ryan, you cracked me up because that ex that I was telling you about, I need to fix those dinners for. He was a salesman, right? And a lot of what you're saying really makes sense from even when you talk about men playing the numbers game, that's a very true statement. That is a very true statement in my experience, what you're saying. But this is Jay saying, I got a whole bunch of bees and I ain't worried about it. And it don't.
Felicia's saying, but what the lineup look like? Felicia, the lineup is
what she say? Let's see.
Guy like Jay, 10 and 2s. Because a lot of these guys don't care if the woman's at 10 or 2. They gonna take it. Some 10s in the lineup and some 2s in the lineup.
And you know what? And maybe JR will speak to this. Felicia, I have to say, I think that women are a lot more forgiving, even though we are visual creatures as well. But I think women are a lot more forgiving in a man's looks, because let's say, for example, if he's highly successful, he's a doctor, he's a lawyer, he's an Indian chief, he's a baller, who's not going to talk to him? Who's not going to talk to him? Who's not going to want to talk to him? If he's single and available? Go ahead.
Jay's a flirt, and the flirting makes women feel.
He said
they feel that
too.
validation to the flirter. Most women a woman can't get a compliment out of me. I'm not a compliment type of guy. I ain't the flirting type.
No.
That ain't who
not
I am.
you, Ron. Come on now.
I
Are you
show it.
serious?
I show it with action. I'm the one that would buy you that $160 dinner and say that's your compliment. You better learn. You better read between the lines.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Jay don't do that.
You that
He does
guy.
it with the words. He does it with his body language. Yeah,
Yeah,
baby
because he
girl,
don't
you
want
looking
to take
good.
you out to eat. He just want to lay up with you. That's
Yeah, he
Jay.
gonna flirt you with the flirting, with the words. Like, yeah, baby, you looking good. Oh man, look at your eyes. Look at all that type of stuff. Some women go for that. And they get that validation for it. I like being around him because he always got some nice compliments to say, and he's always looking like he's really into me, acting like he's really coming on to me and saying, "Oh, you looking nice, baby." He's sweet talking me and stuff. It's sounding good. I don't do all that, but a lot of men don't do all that. So the guys that do, they do get a little grace on other things because women go off emotions of how they feel, and it makes a woman feel good sometimes when a man is like, "Ooh, baby, Aubrey, ooh, you looking, man, that dress look good on you, girl. Ooh, you know what I want to do to you? Ooh, you looking good. Look at that smile, girl.
Now he totally turned me off because once he says the part about what he wants to do to me, that's a total turn off. Just like that laying up comment, like, you nasty.
But and you might feel that way at first, but when you get used to it,
I
and
would
then
never
he
get
don't
used
do
to
it, you know what I mean? Day he might not give you a compliment time. You're like, "Oh, why I ain't getting no compliment from Jay? What's going on?" And then you start getting it, you know what I mean? Calling him. Because you get used to the validation.
You know what? And see, that's the difference. And see, that's why confidence and self-esteem matters. Going back to previous contestant that we talked about that looks like a flower, that's named after a flower. No, that's where validation and self-esteem really matters. And because I grew up in a home with a man who loved and adored me and my mother, and I knew I was intelligent, I was pretty, I was smart, all of the things that were important, I didn't need a man or a woman to tell me those things. I didn't. Like, if you want to give me a compliment, I'm going to say thank you. But guess what? I'm not moved by that. I do not get wet by that. What you say around was more important, the dinner part, because I like to eat too now. The guy taking me out to the dinner, the guy that's picking me up when he says he's going to pick me up, the guy that's reliable, that's sexy to me.
Some women go for that. Some women go for the words. I've lost women because I wasn't vocal. Even though I'm doing all those things, they couldn't read between the lines.
And you're right. And I lost a good man because of that. Like you can miss it. So it's a balance, right? So here's the balance.
The love language. Like, the love language could be words of affirmations. That's the one I'm least good at.
Correct. And that's what I'm saying. That's all what I'm about to say is that words of affirmation do matter to a lot of women. It's not, for me, it's not the flattery, but by the time I start to fall in love with you, I need you to be vulnerable enough to open up and talk to me about your feelings for me. And when you can't do that, that becomes a problem. That becomes a problem. Yeah.
And if you dated a guy like that, you know, a guy that was opposite of that, and that was your love language, and then you run into a Jay, he's gonna get you because Jay talking that stuff right away. And you're gonna be like, okay, this is what I was missing with my other man. You know what I mean? You might not get the $106 dinner, but if you wanted the words, he's gonna give you the words.
No, but it has to be both, though. That's the point you're missing. For a woman like me, it has to be both. Jay is never gonna get anywhere with me because a man like Jay would never get anywhere with me because we're not gonna even. I don't even want to get. Well, you know what? We do this to the women, so I'm gonna say it. His skin. While he's spending all this time with these bees, why don't he spend some time with a dermatologist?
He don't need. He looks tall to me. He looked like you're about 6'3". Oh, that's all you need right now. The tall was separating him from the short guy.
Ron, my ex was 7'1". So what do I care about tall?
I'm just saying, most of these women out here, you understand.
As long as he's over 6 foot,
really
they're with it.
6'3", he's in the 80 with the 92% rim of height. So if you're a woman that wants height, you got to deal with a Jay.
Right.
They know that. So he's already gonna come in with some separation. And then if he's tall, they're like, okay, at least he meets my height requirement. And he's talking that stuff. And you're a woman that like to hear that.
Jay don't have no game. Jay getting over because he in Philly. And you got women like Rose, and you got women like Sahara, and
he's a flirt. A flirt is gonna talk.
You're right. He's a flirt. But he getting over because he's in
Philly
gonna
take massive
with women that are okay with that kind of behavior.
Most women okay because he's taking action because he's going up there. He's not afraid to go get the number. He ain't afraid to give her a compliment, and then he's tall. and then he's gonna call and talk on the phone. Now when she wants him to back it up with the real stuff, oh no, he ain't. But there's a lot of men that play that game. That's what I'm saying. The way that you figure out if a man's real or not is you put some responsibility on him and see if he can handle it.
Like what? Give us example, since you helping us out with all of this. What kind of responsibility should we put on the man?
Well, like I said, the only way you can really put responsibility on the man, you got to do some stuff for him first, and that's where women fail at because they're afraid to do that. So, yeah, cook him a nice dinner, clean up his do a little something for him at first when y'all first start dating. The almost where he will owe you a little bit, a favor and stuff like that. You didn't came out, you done showed him, you're a good woman, how nice you are. I guess this to help him out a little bit. And then ask for a little something out the ordinary and thing or something, and see if there's too much responsibility for him to handle on her, and see if he's willing to do it.
Okay.
Because something that's not that is expensive and stuff like that, something that's a nuisance, something that will disrupt his day for him to have to take, come pick you up at the airport, go do something where he would have to come take some, something out of his scheduled day and stuff to pertain to you, to take responsibility for you in that certain occasion. That way you see, does he want the responsibility or not? Because most guys would be like, oh man, I'll date her long as it ain't messing up my vibe, long as it ain't doing this and doing that. Even if it's a money situation, they're rather, money and time is two different things. I could give her a little money and I don't got to spend that time with her, where that would be more responsibility I have to take on her when I have to do that. A man would pay for your rent and all that type of stuff. That same man won't sit at the hospital with you for 8 hours if you were sick.
Ooh. Yeah, that's important. That's
a responsibility. That's too much responsibility. You mean I'm gonna take up my whole Saturday, sitting 8 hours in a boring hospital lobby waiting on you? No, take this rent money. I need my weekend.
Oh my God. So
stuff like that where he really has to take responsibility for you and he has to invest his time or things of that nature. He's not going to, a lot of guys ain't going to do it at first, but if you do something for him at first and then put it on him, then you could ask then, okay, can you do this? Can you do this for me? And something like that. And he don't come through or he don't be happy about it coming through, you kind of know that he ain't the type of man that really likes to take on that type of responsibility for a woman.
Okay.
I just saw it with my sister. Like I said, she was dating a guy for a year and he was buying every, dinners and all that type of stuff. It didn't become a problem until she really needed something. And she figured she could ask for it because they've been dating for a year and a half.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me guess. It was like she needed to go to the hospital. She had to have outpatient surgery or something where it was involving time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put her business out there.
Well, but I'll say time. Let's just say something.
When you really needed something.
Okay.
That wasn't dating this and this and this and that. And it's something that you would probably ask a person that you would think is about to propose soon. You know what I mean? That you've been in a year and a half, year 50, as long as they've been dating, you can ask it. But
you're going strong.
Yeah, but it's the type of person you will know then. Like if a person say no, that person understood themselves. I'm not ready to marry this woman. I ain't ready to be here. I need to get this too much responsibility. I'm going crazy. I need to jump. I'm not ready for this. And that's what he did. I can't do this. I'm not ready for this. I thought I was. I'm not. Boom.
Wow.
Because the cream rises to the top. Always. That's my dad's favorite slogan. The cream always rises to the top. And you got to find out if you got a riser or if you got a one that just sits there in the middle.
Right. JR, jump in. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about the player syndrome and the whole he got all these B's lined up. What are your thoughts about that with Jay? You think he was deflecting, or what do you feel?
Like I said, I think it's a little bit of posturing backstage. He didn't have the nuts to say that on the stage with Kiel right next to him. So he waited until he got backstage to do that. But as I said, he seems like a very lazy dater, a chilled person. He's not bougie, and I think Kiera is bougie, where she wants to be lavish and kind of be winding down a lot. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with either, but If it doesn't match, then that's where the problem comes, right? So he may be a bit salty about how how the relationship broke down or whatever. But again, for some people, their social battery is not the same as others. And if he's saying he was maxed out, he's burnt out by the process, he needed some time to recoup, that's not compatible with what Kiera wanted to do, which is go into a full-on relationship after the show ended. And that's why that didn't work. So, his comment about how many girls he's got in his roster. Okay, well, why were you on the show in the first place, bro? You got this roster waiting for you at home and everything. Supposing it had have worked out with Kiera, would you still have this roster? Would you have just started dismissing people and focused on Kiera? I don't know, but you just set yourself up for a lot more questions and answers with that comment.
Good point.
There's no such thing as a break after the show. Like, nobody wants that, guy or girl. You're already in the flow of it. Like, you're already basically together. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just flow into the relationship. I never heard anybody say they wanted a break. It's never happened. History of Ready to Love. That you go to the end and say, I want a break. I've seen breakups. I've seen it not work out. I've never seen it because the dude doesn't want to see the person or the girl doesn't want to see the person right after the show.
Oh, wow. Well, guys, we're going to move on to the next topic. And the next topic is, you'd love to hear this, is Deanna. Deanna and how she was handled on this season of Ready to Love. So Deanna came on. She's this beautiful, gorgeous chocolate woman, tall. I don't know if she's quite 6 feet or not. She kind of looks like it. She reminds me of a family member of mine in terms of height. Very curvaceous, very beautiful, very dynamic, doing extremely well in her career as a firefighter. And she found out that a lot of the guys, the communication really wasn't there. The guy said that her communication wasn't there, but she was saying, hey, listen, I'm in a very stressful field and you guys don't understand. I can't be on the phone talking to you. Then we get a call that somebody's house is burning down and I got to go save a family. I will text you and call you when I'm available to, but be patient. Have patience, because I'm used to dating high value men who understand. They're doctors and lawyers and Indian chiefs, and they understand that we don't always talk 24/7. She's not doing a Jay and Kiera situation where she's going to be on the phone and you're going to be in person with her for 16 hours a day. You're not going to have that situation with Deanna. JR, what do you think about the way she came on this season and what she had to say at the reunion?
Yeah, Deanna, I did think she would be a hit. Her appearance is very Amazonian, like very tall, thick, very attractive looking lady.
Yes.
Seems to put the career first more than anything else, which, I can understand to a degree with the nature of her job. But really, a relationship with her could be challenging. Why? Because at times it's like she's going ghost. Like you may be trying to message her, say what's up, how's your day, and she air you out completely. Just leave your message on red. So different communication style. I'm not sure if she's ready for a full-on relationship, but I'm quite sure she will have many admirers that will be trying to get with her, namely Eddie for a start.
You're right.
Yeah. So she can have her preferences and her boundaries and how she wants to process a relationship. She just has to find someone that's compatible with that. And it did strike me immediately that Eddie was the first to throw his hat in the ring, because now he realizes, listen, I don't need to put in that effort with her like that. She's busy. I'm going to be doing my thing, and I just check in with her whenever that suits him fine.
Okay. Yeah, with Eddie, it probably would. We know he got Tracy Ellis Ross on speed dial, and someone said Keke Palmer too. So hey, now, hey. Ron, what did you think of Deanna and her very strong independence. She's a firefighter. She's very career oriented. How did she look in this season and this reunion to you?
Yeah, it should have been the least person I was interested in. I'd have ran.
And why? And explain why. Now you got to explain why.
I like kind of when the guy was saying it himself, he was like, it's not that the fact that you're busy with your job and stuff, it's the fact that you put it so much first over everything else is bringing out that masculinity. Is you already kind of your demeanor don't have a super feminine base to me, I feel, on top of the fact that you kind of work a male job where I know you're in the firehouse with a bunch of men that probably are in shape and things of that nature, on top of the fact that you put that first and you're not even putting me as a priority first as a male that wants to date you and things of that nature. I'm turned off. What am I gonna do with that? I can't do nothing with it. And
okay, and that's fair. You being honest, because we saw Deanna.
And the fact that she thinks Eddie ain't about to do nothing with it either. So it ain't.
Well, she may not want. She might. What did Eddie say? He was gonna put.
Eddie said keep it light.
He was gonna keep it raw. But the Tommy kind of called him. He said, "Well, what I meant to say was I'm gonna say things raw." But Tommy said, "Oh no, that's not what you said at first." But that may not be like for Deanna. Like we talked about sexuality and women's libido. She might just want to, roll around with old big brother Eddie, 6 foot plus brother.
Listen,
but even then, she don't have the femininity to make you even want to, like, I don't know. I don't get it. He said he gonna take her to Starbucks. Basically, what he said, because he was like, "We're gonna do something light for the first day."
Yeah.
Listen, why you going back on what you said? Why you backtracking, dude?
Listen, that may be all she has time for. Just a quick layup and back to work. All right. She don't want to be bothered with going out and spending time and looking each other's eyes and tiptoeing through the tulips and all that. She don't want to do none of that. She's career focused, like you said, career driven. She has to be on standby, on call all the time. So she doesn't want to relax and let her guard down too much because she may be called back to duty. So just a quick fumble, occasional phone call. That's all she requires. And to be fair, to her credit, she didn't say that it was one-sided. She did actually say she'd be quite cool in the interview she did the other day on another channel that we're familiar with. She did say that she would quite happily allow a guy to live his life and do his thing and then check in occasionally when they're both free, then they can, obviously hook up. So she's not looking for anything full on every day, 9 to 5, 24/7, being in each other's pockets. She definitely doesn't want that.
Okay.
Yeah, the problem with that is it tests a man's ego, and they try to break that code, and you can't. I've been through it. You can't break that code. They are who they are when they like that. And you be like, "Oh, I'm gonna be the one to rescue." She gonna want to spend time with me because I'm gonna. Maybe she had too much on her plate financially and all. It's all of these different, but no, they're just they're wired that way. And it's not our fault. Nothing you can do to kind of change that. And like you said, if they're happy, they're happy. But men need to understand, if that ain't what they want, if you want the feminine woman that's gonna be cooking and cleaning and rubbing you and spending some time, and you want that lover girl, you want that role.
That's not her.
That ain't her.
No.
And you need to know right away before you spend a dime on it or any time and move the other direction.
Absolutely.
Okay.
She's not wife material in that sense.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Saying. Yeah, I love and talking about the hair just for a brief second, okay, Deanna, Sister Donna, I love you. You're a goddess, I think, in terms of your physical appearance. You are just absolutely a goddess. But the shorter platinum hair is beautiful on you. This hairstyle, not so much, in my humble opinion. Just my humble opinion. But anything else we got to say about
Aubrey, they got to throw a little pizzazz on it. Come on now.
I guess, but I'm just saying, I wasn't feeling the platinum long hair on her. That's just me. And I tell you what, more than a few people have agreed with me on other platforms, on Reddit and some other places. So And it's not just me, and I'm not a hater, because like I said, I feel like she is literally a goddess when it comes to her physical appearance. Look at her skin, her smile, her beautiful big eyes, everything about her curvaceous body. She is a goddess, and I'm straight, but if I wasn't, Deanna, your phone would be ringing right now. But no, the long blonde, platinum blonde hair, it's not for everybody. That's my opinion, and I'm going to stick with that. But we're going to press on, and I want you guys to tell me what you thought about the finger painting. The finger painting date was Shanice and Cisco. And Shanice was confident and comfortable enough in her own skin that she was able to get fully nude frontally. And she had, of course, obviously a robe on, and we see that things are blurred out so that this is not a X-rated show. What did you guys think? JR, do you think that's a good date? Did you feel comfortable with it? Would you have participated in something like this? You know, if you were a single man, what would you do?
Quite a lot of questions there, Aubrey.
Sorry, I'm
uh,
sorry. Well, just
it's all right.
pick
It's
your
all right.
favorite one.
I'll try. Yeah, I'll try and answer the ones I can remember that I didn't instantly block out. Um, okay, so I think
See
this
how my
date.
co-hosts do me.
I see. I think this date. If she was doing this date with Fritz, I don't think I would have so much of a problem. But the fact that it's with Cisco and she's so comfortable getting nude in front of him,
Uh-huh.
he wasn't her top connection, and nor was she his top connection. He was locked into Tay the whole time. I think it went over the top. I think it was too far. You know,
Mm.
this is beyond flirting and just having a good date. This
Oh,
is
really?
him touching her naked body and writing his name on the boobies and things like that. And she was happily sitting there chilling. Now, obviously, she told Fritz about this apparently, and he's cool with it. He understands. But for me personally, if that was my girl and my top connection, and she's letting a guy do that to her, I wouldn't be cool with it. No, I would not at all be cool with that. And if I was Fritz, I wouldn't be putting my hands on nobody's ties like that. Not
Okay.
if Tay's my
Especially not on national TV too.
yeah, and
That's the other
exactly
part of
because
it.
my
Yeah.
number one connection's gonna hear about it, and she's gonna go. You know, when we're at the reunion, this is gonna be shown, and when we watch the episodes back, you know, she's gonna see what we got up to. So I wouldn't be cool with it. And I'll also just finally add, you know, Tay seemed to be quite, um, surprised by this date, but she was getting her foot rubbed a couple times. She was like, in people's houses. I think she went to Naeem's house, got a nice foot rub and
Ooh.
massage and all of that stuff too.
Now he didn't
So
suck on no toes or nothing, did he?
he doesn't
Naeem.
have to. He doesn't have to. The fact that she felt comfortable kicking off her shoes and letting another guy massage her feet in his house, that could have led somewhere. So,
Mm.
but with regards to this date, now I think
It could have led to baby number 3x4.
there you go. There you go.
I'm
Could have
sorry,
been
baby number
six,
six
six
by
by
four.
four. Yeah, 6 by 4. But yeah, no, I think Cisco did too much considering Tay was his number one connection. This is something that you do with Tay. And I think, her being as open to nudity with someone that isn't her top connection, that would be a problem for me. That'd be a problem.
Okay. All right. Ron, I know you're gonna have an interesting opinion about this. What did you feel about the nudity on this date and whether you would have been comfortable? Let's say if you had been one of Shanice's other connections.
It's a risky date. It's a risky date.
Okay.
We never see anything like this. I couldn't even believe it when they showed it. Now, if I'm Cisco, it's risky for you because he's right. People gonna see this, and if you had another connection down the line, it could go opposite way you think it. With that said, I'm doing the date. I'm getting a chance to paint a girl naked. I'm just gonna take the risk. Go through with it. you got other people going on dates to soap shops and stuff, and I get a chance to paint a naked. I'm taking this date. If they give me this date, I'm taking the date on Cisco. So yeah, he did the right thing. He did what I would have done. Now, the
Mm.
best thing she did was she told Fritz right away. And this is women make the mistake on this show. If you do something, you kiss a guy, you do whatever you do, you have to be transparent to your other matches. You got to let them know. Because if you don't, and they find out later, they get pissed. I got pissed. I know how that feels. It don't be the fact that you did something. It's about the fact that you kept it. The one person is telling you everything that they do on their dates. And I went out with this person and we did this and do that. And then when it's time to tell your date, you don't say none of this. And then we don't see the dates. So then your match don't see that date until right before the reunion. It's gonna be a problem. So not only did she probably tell Fritz about the date, she probably got graphic with it. She didn't miss out on nothing. That's why he was comfortable with it. Because she had him fully prepared to see what she was gonna see. Wow. Now, for them dimming the music and making it seem like she's body heroic and all this type of BS, no. Not at all. This could have went totally bad. It should have went bad. The only reason it didn't go bad is because she told Fritz the right way and gave him all the details and got him prepared and ready and things of that nature with her match. But no, this is just a nudist that is the one to go with the flow and things of that nature for TV. I don't know what the reason it was why a woman would get that naked with a stranger on TV, but they try to make it seem like this was Body Awareness Day, and it's like they try to do it again.
What's it? Body positivity. Body
positive BS. No, it ain't.
You
just sell me on that. You just sell me on that BS.
Yeah.
Listen, Ron and JR, I actually did not have a problem with this nude body painting date, especially since she went ahead and told her main connection, Fritz, immediately, not waited until the reunion like months later, but immediately told Fritz afterwards, hey, listen, babe, I went on this date with my other connection and here's what we did. And this is how it went. Okay. I didn't have a problem with that because I feel like that's transparency. So
yeah, that is transparency. But okay, so obviously we saw him finger paint and all that stuff. Supposing he dipped his palms in this paint and started, wanting to put some palm prints on certain areas.
Groping, like basically kind of groping with the paint, using the paint
right. So it could easily exactly right. So it could easily have got there. Yeah, if the chemistry was there, it could have got there. She could have allowed that to. Supposing they realized they had a connection and they kissed while she was naked, that would have put a whole different, connotation to that date. So for me, I agree with Ron. It's a risky date. It could have gone a lot further than that. And once you've seen her naked, then why wouldn't she feel comfortable getting naked for you in private, in a private setting?
And I think in her mind, I don't think it was the fact that she was just so attracted to Cisco and things of that nature from that. I think she felt that in the production scene of this date, I think she feels that she has one of the better bodies on this show. Like she got some work done. She probably feels like Cisco has one of the better bodies on the show. So she probably figured like production got the two best bodies on the show to do a sexy scene. She was feeling sexy. And so this is my TV moment with the sexiness to show off my body that I paid a lot of money for and I'm very proud of. And that was kind of what she was thinking at the time. And then she was smart enough to go tell her other connections what went on and what happened. So with all that said, like I said, I don't see nothing wrong with it. But if she didn't tell Fritz and Fritz saw this right before the reunion where he would have saw it would have took that long for him to see this scene. Oh, this would have went 120% different from any man.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Okay. Good information there, Felicia. Trying to find that right now. Let's see.
But Cisco didn't tell Tay, and Tay was his number one forever. You could tell he didn't go tell her right away what he was doing.
JR, do you recall? Did we see them tell? Did we see him tell Tay?
No, he didn't tell Tay. He went and kissed up on her and continued to have dates with her. He didn't tell her. That's why Tay was surprised at the reunion to see. She saw it when it aired for the first time, and she wasn't happy on the reunion at all. And that's why she made the comment. I didn't know we could do X-rated dates. None of her dates were like that. So
Guys, continue on for just a second. I got to take another break real quick, and I'll be right back. But continue.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, like Tay was obviously not happy. Now the thing is, we're just lucky that Cisco's not really a touchy-feely guy.
I mean,
And
he touched a lot for me. Like I
he
going in between the
he could have touched
tactiles and
more.
stuff.
He could have touched more. He could have left fingerprints all over her. And like I said, we don't know where she be cool with it. The only reason why Shanice said they didn't have a connection is because of his connection with Tay. But other than that, she would have been quite open to establishing a connection with him. Quite sure of it.
Writing your name on marking your territory would have been worse to me than if I was a female than even the touching.
Yeah.
Like, I know Tay was probably looking like, oh, really, Cisco? That she yours? That's your your name on? You put
Exactly.
your name on
Yeah. Yep. And that's where he was sending those mixed messages. Like he took that too far. Like
But, I mean, with his to kind of stick up on a little bit, if production gonna give you that opportunity, I mean, you're a man at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You're gonna go along with the date. What you gonna do? Back off the date?
Yeah.
I can't do this one. I
Yeah.
got other
Well,
lines.
I don't know. It depends if if I'm locked into Tay as much as he says he was, then I would feel uncomfortable doing that because I'll
I
be
get
worried
it, JR,
about it
but
coming
you
back
gotta
to
understand at this
right.
point, this date was early in a situation. So even if you're locked in with Tay, you
Yeah.
still need her vote to stay on the show. It's still
That's
a game.
true. That's
So
true.
you still gotta flirt with other women, even if you're locked in with Tay. Even if you thought Tay was your wife of all wives, you still gotta flirt with the other women.
Yeah, that's true.
In order to keep your votes going. That's how the game works. If
I
not,
get it.
you're gonna get thrown off like the married couple that came on here earlier to show that they were married on DC.
I get it.
And, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. But let's be real. A lot of, particularly the ladies that view this show, they wanted Cisco gone because he wasn't stable anyway. So this would have been the perfect reason to get him kicked
That's
off.
why he really needed a couple extra votes in there. Her vote probably kept him on a couple times.
Yeah, he did. He did.
So yeah, he needed his connections to come through him strong. So he wasn't gonna not do it and back out and say, oh, it's just Tay. And then when it's time for the voting, she's not gonna give him her vote, and then they're gonna vote him off. He knows the game. So you almost got to go through with it.
Yeah. And that's true. Shanice did actually tell the women in the lounge what happened too. So it wasn't just telling Fritz. She actually went on that deliberation. She did actually say what happened on their date as well. So I'm not surprised. I'm surprised why Tay was shocked. But then again, Cisco did not divulge a lot of the information about that date either. So maybe Tay was still in the dark a little bit, despite Shanice going back to the ladies' lounge and speaking about the date.
And Cisco couldn't because Cisco was holding on to a thread. You already ain't stable, and she already on the fence about you. You ain't gonna break this news to her, right?
Yeah.
Right after it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So you couldn't really tell her everything on, I understand because he didn't have that much leverage at the time.
Right.
He was still trying to win Tay over.
He was still trying to win Tay over, but why not be transparent? So see, to me, that's kind of like Ron, that goes to like him. If he could keep this a secret, even though at the end of the day, she's gonna find out because it's gonna be televised. She's gonna be at the reunion. Why not go ahead and tell her? That kind of goes to what their relationship would have been like after the show had they stayed together. He's not going to tell her things that are important and germane for her to know. We get on rolls for lying by omission by not talking about her baby's father, but at the same time, what exactly is Cisco doing? What is he doing by yeah, I know the picture, but I'm saying, but what is he doing by not telling Tay what's going on his date? That was a lie by omission.
He's surviving. You can't put another log on that fire. When no room for another log on that fire.
No room because brother man ain't got a place. My mama used to say a pot to pee in or a window to throw it out. Let's be realistic now.
But sometimes women, you gotta warm them up. You know what I mean? You gotta once they get a little more emotionally attached to you, the more stuff you can get away with, more stuff you can tell them, they'll let it slide. You got women that, month 3 would let a lot of stuff slide. They wouldn't let in the first 3 hours of meeting a guy. You know what I mean? So you gotta men know this, so they gotta play it. You gotta play the role. We can't divulge all the information right away. Keep some of that bad stuff in the back of the chamber and get on her good side for a couple months, then slowly bring that stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not right, but it works. So
okay. Well, yeah, it worked for a little while. I mean, ultimately him, being in a financial lack of stability situation that he's in, it's kind of gonna go like that with him for a lot of women. He needs to find what was it, Ron, you were talking about? He needs to find a woman that's got a father that owns a CEO of a company or founder of a company or something like that.
Well, let's divulge it now because the season is over.
Right. No. But I'm saying in real life. In real life.
Y'all know this.
Who's married now?
Cisco's married.
Like, is this the last wife? He's still married to her, or is this a new wife?
New woman. She don't play about no Cisco. She's a boss woman. And she say, don't even worry about it, ladies. I got them together. Don't even worry about it. Me and my husband, we good. I knew, and you gotta understand, I knew that was gonna happen because there's a lot of women out here.
Wait a minute. Hold up, Rob. Hold up a minute. Now you a fast talker, like you like from New York, even though you from Detroit. But hold up a minute. You trying to tell me that Cisco was on this whole show, and in the span of like 1 year, he found a woman and got married to her? Are you trying to tell me that? Because that don't make sense. The math is not math.
It makes sense, and yes, it's facts.
But
you knew all the women was gonna be in Cisco's DMs when he got off the show. Come on now.
But the show just ended.
Well, no, it was a break. It was a break. They had a break.
There was a break. So you're telling me in the span of 6-7 months, he found a well-to-do woman that married him and accepted him as is. That's what you're telling me?
I'm surprised it didn't happen in 3 weeks.
Ladies, you hear this?
Because there's a lot of women. There's a lot of women that first thing they said was, "Oh, if she don't want to, I'll take care of that man. She all day long, all day long. Bring him here. He good looking, that body, and he's nice. All this and that. Oh, that's all. Hand me out to get on his feet. Oh, I got plenty of that in the bank for that. Oh, what do you need, a car? Oh, baby, get you out one of those C-Class little Mercedes. Pick you out one. Pick you out a nice a blue one. I got you. I ain't worried about that. And I heard she got him on his feet. He making money now. He doing good. So like it worked out. Like it was a woman gonna pick up on that. And all he wanted was a woman with a little loyalty.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
So all the women that was like, nah, this and that.
Like me.
Y'all giving up on a whole husband. Like there's other women that saw opposite of that and said, no.
That's all right. I'll take my chances out here in this cold, cruel world.
Hey, he making some money though now, though. I know Cisco.
That's good. That's good for him. But everybody,
and he's making money because he had a strong woman.
Not for everybody, Ron. Everything is not
Aubrey,
for everybody.
a strong woman know that she can get that together. She already saw that. I can work with that. I can get making some money.
You just said it, but it's two things about it. You leaving out a couple of words. She's strong. I'm strong. But with the word you leaving out is her creativity and her vision. She had the creativity and the vision and the resources for him. That's not something I'm keen on, trying to create a man, build a bear, build a man. That's not something I'm keen on. I have visions for my life. But I don't have the bandwidth to plan my life and your life.
No. Yeah, but are you actually doing that though? No, he's just asking for support. Like he actually has a plan. It just isn't what you want it to be because it's unstable. But he was just looking for support from Tate. I don't think he was looking to mooch off her, which is why he took offense to the comment.
Oh, okay.
What Aubrey said though was right. Tate worry about her own career. Tate don't have a vision to create what he was. Now you got Cisco who wants to be in modeling and all that stuff like that. One thing that we leaving out is he has the talent. He has the look. So a woman with the vision said, "Wait a minute, he already got the talent to do it. He just needs the right connections and the right path. I got that already. So as long as you're bringing me something, you're bringing me some Bentley to work with. You ain't bringing me no Toyota to work with. I can work with it. I can get this. I can make this dude some money in modeling. He's already looks like one of the top 45-plus-year-old models right now. I got connections in that, or I got this and that. He has talent in it already.
That's exactly what I was about to say too.
I tell women,
Maybe
go for the man with the talent. If you are in computer engineering and you need a guy that's an electrician, get the electrician. You know, even if he's not making money, you already have the vision to put some good talent in what y'all doing, and y'all can build together that way. The talent you always bet on the jockey, not the horse.
Yeah. So I
bet on the
agree.
talent.
Maybe the girl he's with actually does have connections and hooked him up with some of these acting roles too, or wants to act as his agent and finding work, or is a makeup artist in the industry. We don't, you know, it could be a whole different lot of variables. Fact of the matter is, he found someone that obviously, if what you say is true, and he's married, he found someone that supports him and is down for the cause.
And that's all he wanted, because he looked like a guy who was really into Tate, and he looked like a marriage-minded guy, and that's what that woman saw. She looked at that, said, this dude is a guy who will actually walk down the aisle. Where a guy like Jay, or, you know what I mean, they ain't going down the aisle no time soon.
Right. And there are some ladies who want a guy who's the finished article. You know, they don't want to go through the grind and the ups and downs and, you know, the periods of brokenness and things not working out for you. They want the guy that's actually accomplished everything, finished, and now he's going to be ready for her to come into his life and disrupt everything that he built.
And let's face it, some women don't want a guy who has already got it built. There's a lot of women that really don't want a man that's already making top 6 figures and things of that nature, because they know it comes with it. And if you're not the type of woman that's secure enough for that, or you're the type of woman that don't want to hear a bunch of mouth about certain things, or you don't want to come in strictly to a guy's program because you got your own program going on, you can't date a guy like me. You better date a guy like Cisco. And then you can get a guy like Cisco that's going to get on your program as a woman and look like him. I bet there were over 100,000 women signing up to marry this guy, because there's a lot of women that can only work with a Cisco. You don't bring that over here. So, you know what I mean? Like, no, you got to join my program. You come over here. If you already got your own program, you ain't joining a man's program. And hey, you got your own money. Like I've been telling you since again, a lot of these women got their own stuff. They got their own program. They want a man like this that's going to be masculine, say yes a lot to what they got going on, someone they can help build up and look good, and that's what they want. The roles have changed.
They have. Oh no, I definitely get that, Ron. You are right. In this dating marketplace that we're in, the roles have changed quite a bit. I absolutely agree with you on that. But anything to be said about how his self-esteem and how unhappy and downtrodden that he seemed during this edited show? Any thoughts on that, Ron?
That I think how you looking?
No. I'm talking about his. Well, we had during the season, you know, and it's understandable. Men have emotions. Listen, I understand men have emotions, and men cry just as women cry. But there were quite a few times where, like when Tommy brought up at the finale brunch when they had, right, the ones that made it to go over the bridge, and Tommy was talking to them, and Tommy said, you know, hey, listen, Tay and Cisco, I've been where you are, Cisco. I've been there. My wife, she held me down. She bought me a car. She did XYZ until I made it in my career. We talked about this, I think, last week, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, but he would get so emotional about it, and we saw this not just that time, but probably 2 or 3 other times during the season. And for me, it just kind of made me wonder about where he was emotionally, where he was mentally. Like,
he had to take. There's a lot of women that was talking mess. A lot of women that will talk mess, and I believe he really liked to take. But yeah, a lot of women in this dating age, in the dating market, I call it the sexual marketplace, it create love to finances. It just is, especially in the Black community, especially with the scarcity mindset, especially with the survival instincts that some of these women have. They put those two together. What he didn't notice was there's a small group or a nice sized group of women who don't. And they say, oh, come on, Cisco, come here. Don't even worry about it. I get you a car. I get your hair. You know what I mean? It's some women there that got some bread, some real money, and I see them all the time. They make me uncomfortable.
Why did it make you uncomfortable? You balling yourself, so what?
As I'm saying,
I
I don't like taking gifts. I don't like, my love language is not receiving gifts from women or receiving anything from women. Even my girl said when she sent me something, she's like, I had to send it to you without telling you because you would have told me no.
Okay, so that's not your love language. Is it words?
No,
of
I don't like no
affirmation?
women giving me stuff and buying anything for me and stuff like that. I feel uncomfortable. So, but I know there are women that do that feel a love language is giving like that. And it doesn't mean he's taking advantage of her or he's mooching by letting her be that for him, and him, taking roles in other ways to being a good man for a woman that's like that, and then working on himself and building together through that. See, women got to be a little more open-minded about it. It ain't always about the finances, especially if you already got it. Now, if you're struggling as a woman, yeah, you got to find you a man with some money. If you're a woman, you don't got no 401k, yeah, you got to find you a man with some retirement. You know what I mean? I get that. But if you got it together, you need to find a good man first, and then find one that you can work with. And if you don't let them sucker you into thinking you got to be making $500,000 a year and you got to date a man that's making $1 million in order for you to feel comfortable in the dynamics. It don't work that way. That $1 million man is not going to adore you or look at you in the light that you need and do the stuff that you need to be a woman out here in a male's world, making $500K and going through what you got to do and the type of work you got to put in to do that. You need a different type of man. You need a Cisco. As Cisco said, a loyal girl, good girl that got his back is going to help him work harder. You coming home to that, it's going to make you work harder too.
I guess.
So yeah, y'all, everybody got to really don't let the outside world tell you what you need and what you don't. You got to really just be on, see what you need for yourself. I liked her going for Cisco because I knew she was attracted to it. She said she wanted a guy who was good looking with muscles and things of that nature. And
that
she
was
wanted
him.
what she wanted. The problem is she wants both. And the problem is you're not going to get both. You ain't her. You good. You great. You gorgeous. I think she's beautiful. But most women don't get both. The top of the top don't even get both.
No.
So, yeah. I think she could have been, Cisco got married in a year. She wanted to get married within a year. She wanted kids. She could have had that with him. I think she understood that she might have, because I think at this point, she probably already knows he's dating or about to get married. I think they didn't put it into the scene. I think she already knows all that. And I think she probably thinking like, you know what? I could have made this work. I let other people talk me out of it. I talked myself out of it. She told you on this. I self-sabotaged. I did this. I did that. If you listen to her, she's giving it to you.
That. Yeah.
Yeah. Cisco was ready. And to look like him and have the options and still be ready, I think that's more of the Spanish side that he got in him and things of that nature. Because most black men wouldn't have been ready in a year right after the show to marry and things of that nature. She dropped the ball. She dropped the ball.
That was that Latino nature inside.
That Latino, they like big families. They like that. He was.
They
ready.
do.
He was ready
in large part. Yes.
She was ready. She dropped the ball, thinking about the regular finance. And his new wife, I heard her talk. The new wife don't play about Cisco. The new wife happy.
Wow.
And the new wife got his back. That's full loyalty. And if he needs something, I already know he's going to be able to get it from her. And the fact of the matter is, they married. He was ready. She in there. But Tay could have played that role and got the same results.
Wow. I did not know this. I got the girls playing in the background, so I'm going to have to watch their live. Go ahead.
Cisco got money now. He got enough now where it's cool.
So you think that? Do you think that he and the new wife did they talk about it? Did you hear them talk about whether or not they're gonna have more children, or does she already have children? We know that he already has some children from his previous marriage. Ron.
About that, I think they're good on that. But you know what I mean, maybe, and they get happy and gonna build together things of that nature. I think, like I said, she saw the potential. She saw who he was. She's like, yo, you mean this good looking man right here is on the market and he's ready to get married and actually serious, and the only thing that's getting in the way with it is a few dollars? Most women gonna be like, y'all crazy. I got this.
Well,
he checks out every other box, but a few dollars is what we talking about?
Right.
Please.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What, JR, what you over there about? What are your thoughts on this? You over there talking about yeah, Tay probably would have bounced. What's going through your head?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I feel like he was looking for some support for his dream and ambition or whatever. And, when times got tough, Tay would have bounced. That instability is not something she wants as part of her life. Um, and, that's fine. Find someone who's more accomplished then. But Cisco has never been it. He's always been upfront with his situation. He's always let her know, this is the situation. I'm chasing my dreams, this, that, the other. So I look at it as Tay wanted to get to the bridge with him, maybe have a few sessions, a few dates, and then call it quits. I don't think she saw him as anything serious because she doesn't really support what he's doing in terms of his career due to the instability, and that's why when she said that she was having like a dilemma, like she was conflicted because he ticks all of the boxes, but when it comes to the job stability, him quitting the jobs to try and get acting roles and things like that, or if it doesn't work around casting or whatever, and he's leaving a job because of it and getting a new one, that's not cool with her. She wants someone who's got career and probably does this as a hobby on the side rather than focus 100% on the acting.
Mm. Wow, we got some varying viewpoints here in our chat. Some people are saying they agree with Tay. She just wanted him to have a stable job. That's where I lay. Some people are saying that she would have bounced regardless if he fell upon hard times. I don't think that's necessarily true. But I think when Tay started asking questions about his previous employment situation, and he was saying, well, he would have this job, but then he would quit it to go over here and do this modeling assignment. And then same thing with the next job. That becomes concerning. Like, what if she wants to, like she said, she wanted to have children? Maybe, what if she has a difficult pregnancy and has to stay off her feet, like a number of girlfriends and women I know that have had to do? Who's bringing the money in? He's quitting jobs and she's laid up trying to have his baby. Like, how does that work?
He was confident in his look. He has the look for modeling. Let's just give him what he is, right? So I got the
Looking at the
talent.
picture. He's right there. Yeah.
I got the talent. So I just need to focus on that to get in the right spot. There are people who do that, a modeling job full time. Like, it make a lot of money. Like, so he just, hey, I got the talent. I got the look. This is what I want to do. He might not be a hard worker. I'm not the type of dude who's gonna be in the oil field slamming it up, breaking my back all through it. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm passionate about. I need somebody to back me. And I'll tell the guys right now, if you look like Cisco and a woman wants mooch, you can mooch. Go ahead and mooch. And get and go for your dream.
Wait a minute, does a man look like Cisco or look like Eddie? They can mooch? What?
Yeah, because
that's something that he said. That's something that he said. He was
dude, you know how many dudes
and hurt that
y'all let them little drug used to let them little drug dealer dudes mooch back in the day.
I don't know nothing about that. I don't know.
Oh, come on, y'all didn't have
no.
Y'all younger when they had that broke dude that y'all didn't took care of for a little bit. Y'all done gave a little something. Y'all done done it before. You get mad at him because he's older doing it, but he still got the look.
Oh my Lord.
And he still got the dream and he has talent to dream. Now, if he didn't look like a certain thing and he's trying to get into modeling, or he was a fat guy who wasn't getting a personal training, you would be like, yo, dude, you don't got the talent to do that.
You Delulu, baby. You Delulu. I love you.
Yeah, if you got the look to doing the modeling, you passionate about it. This is what you want to do. And all you need is a girl to drop a few coins on you and stuff to hold you up while you figuring it out. So women willing to do it if they got it. Like I said, if you don't got it, you struggling yourself. You got kids. Your kids come first. You can't go get a Cisco. But it's some women out here that got some big pockets, and they wasted money on stuff. They wasted money on some frivolous stuff, and trust me, you would rather have a Cisco at the house rubbing your back than the stuff they spending their money on. Bad wigs and all kind of shit they spending $1,000s on. Why you can't spend that on a man? What would you rather have? A bad wig for $1,500 or a Cisco rubbing your back at the house?
Good Lord.
Come
Good
on now.
Lord. Well, now if you
These
put it
women
that
dropping money on
way,
stupid stuff all day long, and they're gonna try to talk about some finances.
right? I think favorite T kind of speaks for many of us old school ladies that says I ain't supporting no man in the beginning. Maybe after years of marriage, then I can do that. But just right off the
But
rip,
where's the
and we're
mindset come
and we're
from?
not
Why?
even married, huh? What? Say
Where does the
again.
mindset come from? What difference does it make?
What difference does it make?
Yeah, what difference does it make? Beginning several years down or right away? What difference does it make?
Well, we're talking about marriage versus just dating. First of all, that's part of what we're saying. You talking about somebody that's Tay and Cisco were never married; they were dating, right?
No, I get that, but she said several years, even within dating or marriage. In
Yeah,
that
yeah.
comment right there.
I would put a parentheses around the several years for me. The several years of dating. That's why I kind of left that out. I would agree with her though on the part about marriage over boyfriends. That the boyfriend thing has gotten totally
He's
out of
trying to
hand.
get married though. He got married within a year. He's marriage
You did
minded.
say that. You
He's
did
a
say
marriage
that.
minded guy.
It seems like
She
it, and I
knows he's
hope
a
this.
marriage minded guy. By this point in Ready to Love, Tay knows he's a marriage minded guy. That's why she was saying I might have dropped the ball. I might have self sabotaged a little bit. Da, da, da. She knows he's marriage minded. So the marriage part ain't the problem. He's already saying if you take my back, baby, I'm gonna marry you.
Oh, my boo is up there. Hey, Kimberly. Any more comments or thoughts from you, JR, about the whole situation? Would you want a woman to hold you down, even if you guys weren't married? How would you feel about that? Because we already heard Ron, who's for the situation, but at the same time, he doesn't like receiving gifts from his lady. He doesn't. Like that's not his thing. That's not his. What do you call it, Ron? Your love language.
And my love language isn't where I'm comfortable at, but I don't see nothing wrong with it if the woman has the money and she wants to spend it, because all of them do. They'll spend it on a man, and they're doing it. And I think a lot of this is social media talk. A lot of this is what your girlfriends say. I think Tay's girlfriend talked her out of this
You
situation.
think they put a bug in her ear, basically?
Yeah, that's what she said. I started thinking, overthinking it. And she had what is really the gem about Cisco, what I'm seeing out of all this, is the fact that you had a man, not even his looks, not even his situation financially, the fact that he was intentionally marriage minded and he was okay to take on the responsibility of one woman for the rest of his life, and he was with it, because a lot of these guys ain't with it, and she had one that was with it.
Yeah. Okay. Next thing up, we've got what are we talking about here? The guys are talking. Oh, we get to the situation between Fritz and Shanice, and they seem to have built something together. And they're talking about, like Fritz was actually okay, Ron, to your point. He was actually okay with the nude finger painting that she did with Cisco earlier in the season, because like I said again, she told him about it and he was okay with that. He felt like, you know what, this still my girl. She felt like this is her man. And when Uncle Nephew Tommy asked her about why that was, she said because he was consistently himself, whether on camera, off camera, and he was always considerate of her. What did you think about that, JR?
Yeah, he kind of feels hard done by her comments, and it splits. It's time to do the split after that, man. I think like with Shanice, she has chosen Fritz from very early on, and Fritz and her have this travel thing in common. They were each other's number one pick. So lifestyle wise, they could match as well. They both seem to have a very calm demeanor and seem to want to just take it um, day by day. But I feel like this is actually the most solid connection out of all the couples. Why? Because they both got eliminated, but they're doing real life together, and it seems to be going well for them. A lot of the stuff that Fritz was saying, Shanice seemed surprised about though, but so I wonder how locked in they actually are. But for the most part, this couple is the last one left.
Yeah, there they are. Why do you think it works for them? Like you said, they have the travel in common. Anything else that you saw during the reunion or earlier in the season that made you think that they might be a good couple, JR?
From the conversation piece they had, you could tell that they liked each other as well. But yeah, unfortunately, they both got voted off at different times, and that connection couldn't blossom on the show. But like I said, the one saving grace from this chaotic reunion is at least we have one couple that made it, even if it was off the show.
Right. Okay. Anything else you want to add before I move on to Ron?
No, go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, like I said, I think sometimes that happens, right? He wasn't one of the guys like a cis, you know what I mean, one of the top guys where he was going to make it to the end regardless and have her there as a chance to be there for him at the end, and she wasn't probably one of the top females. So you weren't gonna have the other votes to sustain you on the show long enough for y'all to, for them to have enough content to show y'all connection and how it blossomed, even if it could have been strong the whole time. It's just this show sometimes favors the women with more personality, maybe a little more look, or the men with a little more height, a little more, you know what I mean? Some guys,
right.
yeah, you
That
look at
Cisco Eddie type, yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna make it to the end regardless, or they're gonna make it far, or they gonna get their own segment on the reunion. You know what I mean? It's still TV at the end of the day.
Right.
And if you're Fritz, good looking dude, but you know what I mean, he's not have like the most off the screen personality.
Yeah.
And with her, it was more women on there that kind of relates more to I think the core audience that watches the show. Production knows this. So if you would have looked at them too, I almost would have told you at the beginning that they weren't gonna make it to the end with pretty much anybody. But they connected together. And like I said, I like the connection. I think he always liked her. I think she's warming up to him. And that's the way it should be. So that gives him room to court, win her over, and then, and appreciate what he has. And it gives her time to humble herself. And then, realize she got a good man, that's liked her, has been by her side, and it could work that way. So I do see these type of relationships on the show working, and a lot of times they work because they already had a little connection. It's just not. This wasn't the connection that production was going to showcase because it's boring. This is not Rose and you know what I mean. And Cam, no, this ain't boring.
I can see that.
Yeah. So yeah, it ain't TV worthy, but like what JR said, in real life, it works.
Right. Okay. Well, they did. They kind of got in there and snuck in. It kind of surprised me, but then when I went back and looked, I said, yeah, they were attracted to each other. They were each other's connection. So
there's a lot of stuff you don't see on the thing. Like I said,
right.
Yeah, like even when I was dating, when I had they tried to make it seem like when I was dating Amber, like me and Amber had a crazy connection from the beginning. Day one, 3-hour, 4-hour conversation. They didn't show any of that stuff on camera. You know what I mean? So it just looked like I just came out of nowhere. No, we're talking 3 hours, 4 hours every day. I got 185 messages in my phone. I got, you know what I mean? You can't. You only see what y'all see. But these guys could have been really at it the whole time.
The 185 phone calls or text messages. Is this during the season of Ready to Love?
During the season, yeah. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, you don't see the full connection to everybody.
Okay.
Because they're going to show what they want to show. But these guys could have been having a really good connection the whole time. They could have been neck to neck. You know what I mean? We don't see everything. We see maybe 15% of what really goes on with the whole dating process of Ready to Love as people watching the show. 15%. That's it.
Right.
It's
Okay.
and it's some good scenes that be cut off, good dates and stuff like that. It just don't get shown, like you know what I mean? Because they got to fit the narrative sometimes, you know what I mean? So they might
Yeah.
have had a great date on camera. They might have had 3 great dates on camera. Just didn't get shown.
You got right. It didn't get aired. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. With that being said, we also at the end we got Khalil. And Khalil decides that now, even though earlier in the season he wasn't ready with Tay because, Tay wasn't ready with him either because he had that 2 to 6 year waiting period before he was ready to have children. He wanted to date, he wanted to get married, travel with his wife first before they committed to having children, which is, of course, a lifelong commitment. But now he's kind of opened up to the more mature, seasoned woman, and Angie is older than him, and they've been out on a date. What did you think about this, JR?
Yeah. At first, Khalil seemed. Sorry. Yeah. I
Khalil.
think.
Hmm.
Yeah. I think Khalil seemed a bit surprised by what Angie said on the episode 1, where she kind of intimated that he shot his shot and he scored. Right. So if they're going out on dates, I think there is an age gap. I think he's quite younger than her. Uh,
Hmm.
Said he's open to possibly dating older women. He's going to see how it goes. What I'm saying is, Khalil, just make sure you park the car around the corner, or keep it in the garage. Don't give her access, bro. Because if anything goes left, you know, you're gonna tear up your stuff, brother.
Okay, thank you for that, JR. Ryan, what do you think of the younger guy dating the older woman? Is that kind of, was that your speed back in the day, dating the older woman and that type of thing?
No, I was an ageist. I wouldn't even date a woman my own age. Uh,
Oh,
all my time,
Ron.
yeah. I think my average is 6 years younger than me, if not more.
Oh
Uh,
my goodness,
to a
you're
date.
that guy. You're that guy.
I was truly that guy, and I would admit it to 12 things. My dad taught me that. He said, "Yo, you don't want nothing old but some money." Keep you
You
my
remind me
my
of a guy I work with.
my granddad said, "Hey, you gonna get older, but your eyes ain't."
Ooh, good
You
lord.
start to lose your sight when you get older, right? Start to deteriorate.
But
Start
that was
to,
what I was always taught. Now, with that said, my girl
Yeah.
now is 2 years older than me,
Oh, see
and
there?
what I would
You got
tell
to all come
Khalil
full
is,
circle.
yeah, what I'll tell is that them older women now they
Hmm.
put some elbow in it. You need your woman to put some elbow in it. Them older women put a little elbow in it, and then
I'm not going to even ask what that means, okay?
they put that little extra. They put that little extra work in there. Them women
the
the ones that
extra
ask
effort.
you, what you need, baby.
Hmm.
You feeling good? You need this. You need some dinner. You need me to pick up your
You need me
laundry,
to cook you
your
some
dry
liver and
cleaning. I live
rice?
5 minutes from the place. That
Yeah,
type of stuff. They understand time is limited, and
Yeah.
they need to put a little elbow in it, especially with a guy a little younger. So
yeah,
yeah, my girl put a little elbow. The girl I dated before her was my production manager's sister that on my show there. She was older, and she put some elbow in it. So yeah, the older women put a little elbow in it. So I'm trying to change my views on the ages thing that I had before,
yeah.
because like I said, the older women put a little elbow in it. Only thing I didn't like was, I mean, she wants the holy grail. She wants this dude's finance in Cisco's body. He's not both. She only wants both. She wants what she wants. She's
Yeah, she's going to have to come
delusional on
out
that.
of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's a little delusional.
Yeah.
This woman seemed like she ain't sure, because she went all my man, my man, my man in this segment right here. She was just like, he shot his shot. I don't know. But I think he could probably win her over if that's what the route he wants to do.
Mm. I think like also, I mean, I've seen in my experiences, not necessarily with like for myself, but just in general, stuff I've seen, and people I know, and advice I've heard. There's a lot of guys who date older women because they feel like older women know more what they want, right? They know
Hmm.
what they want, and like Ron said, yeah, They put in a bit more effort into retaining that relationship. And then on the other side of it, a lot of women will choose a younger guy because of the virility, like the fact that he's gonna have more youth, more stamina. Um, you know, so there's a trade-off there where it's mutually beneficial for that type of dynamic in some instances. You make that lady feel young again by being around her and being vibrant and being, more virile and active. Whereas some men her age may be dipping off in their performance or test or T levels dropping and things like that.
Uh-huh.
I'll tell men, if you're going to date an older woman, make sure y'all got that kid situation set out. It's probably better if y'all both don't want no more kids.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not having no more kids. And make
Okay.
sure that woman has a lot of money. If either of the two is messed up, do not date a woman older than you at all.
Now see what you just said. Now, why is it the older woman, got to have a lot of money, but we dating Cisco, and he's older than Tay? See how the double standard rolls.
It's a double standard. It's definitely a double standard. But I mean, it is like what it is.
But
you're gonna date why would you date
is.
an older woman that's not established as you are as a man? You know what I mean? Like, no, date younger. Just go date younger. Go ahead and do you'll get more benefits with dating younger. So if you're gonna date older, let her have at least ever, because y'all gonna be in a different stage of dating. Y'all don't want no kids no more. So now y'all in a big building stage. You want to build quick. You want to build multiply. You want to travel together. You want to do older stuff. Go to the wine garden. Go to, you know what I mean? Travel to that grown stuff. That costs money. And you don't want to pay for it all yourself as a man, especially with an older woman. So you want her to have her half. Y'all got to date differently. Y'all ain't dating like 20-year-olds. She older. She a 40 seasoned woman. You close to her age, or you on that maturity level to even attract a woman like that. Y'all got to date differently. So certain things got to be in hand. Let her have some money. Let y'all have that kid situation okay. Because what I don't like about the kid situation is, if a man is younger and he wants kids, he don't have no kids, he can always use that as a cop-out to get out the relationship. That means he can have sex with you, he can date you for a year, he can put in minimum effort, and whenever he wants to get out, he's like, well, I wanted kids, and you kind of older, and you can't really have you don't really want to, and get out the relationship just like that, scot-free. He doesn't get out. He ain't the bad guy. He ain't the user. He ain't nothing. He can get out just like that. It's a get out of jail free card.
Right.
That's why that has to be discussed right away.
Right. Absolutely. And you bring up a very valid point. Remember, Khalil's timeline was in 5 to 6 years. That's when he wants to start having children. With Angie being older than him,
she don't have that.
Exactly. What will her status be in 5 to 6 years' time when he's ready to have children, if they stay together that long?
So he can get out this relationship whenever he wants to. He has a get out of jail free card right in his hand. And nobody's gonna blame him. No fans of the show, not her family, not his family, not even her. Can't say anything, because what's she gonna tell the guy? Oh, you can't have no kids? No, you got to stay with me anyway. I will not allow you to reproduce. You can't say that. You want to get the kids, the future kids of America. So yeah, you can't let a guy have that. If you're gonna date, if you're older woman, you want to date a younger guy, get the kid situation together first of what y'all gonna do. Because you don't want to give them that get out of jail free card.
Right. Discuss it and get an understanding from the get go. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, first thing, because it's a real clock. You know what I mean? And we big boys, we big girls. Right. We got to talk about the real stuff. There's a real clock going on. He don't have.
No, y'all, unfortunately, you guys do not like we do. No, yeah. You're absolutely right. And some of the women in the chat are getting like, they're feeling some things because of what you're saying, but if you stop and think about it, I feel like I don't agree. Now, this is me. I don't agree with everything Ron says. I don't always agree with everything JR says. We're all different people. We're all going to have our different experiences and our viewpoints. But the bottom line and the thing of it is somebody is telling you the truth of a matter of how men look at things. Ladies, we got to start to listen and use our mind and our logic and our reasoning and say, you know what? There's some points there. I don't have to agree with everything he's saying, but there's some points. If you're out there and you're in the dating marketplace, you have to realize that a lot of what Ron is telling you is actually really good stuff. Now, it took me a while. Ron, I don't know how long you've been co-hosting on this show, like what, 3 years now, 3.5 years? You've been on here even back to Alex days when we first interviewed you for Ready to Love, right?
Yep.
And I didn't always understand you, but I think what happens is kind of like, to your point about Ready to Love, a lot of things happen, they're taped, but they're edited out, or they happen privately amongst these daters and the castmates one-on-one in their homes in the privacy away from the camera. Ron and I have a relationship and we talk. And when you really understand Ron and who he is and the sincerity behind him, he's not just saying things that he doesn't believe. If you really took the time to get to know him, if you had that opportunity and that access that I'm blessed to have with both Ron and with JR, then you really get to see the heart of a man. But a lot of times we as women, we're dating these men and we're simply meeting their representatives, like Kiera met Jay's representative. I don't believe that Kiera in the beginning, she ever met the true heart of him, the way I know the heart of JR, I believe, and the way I know the heart of Ron. Okay, that is just a whole different thing. And then you can really assess whether this person is a right and a good fit for you. But when you're just meeting people out here dating and you're meeting a representative and he's telling you, like Ron said, men are telling you all these things that you want to hear. Sounds good. You look good, baby. Oh, yeah, you so fine. And I'm going to do this with you and I'm going to do that for you, or whatever they're saying to you. But Ron is a person, he's a doer. JR is a person, he's a doer. Both of these men are very family relationship oriented. And that's the thing that I think I heard you say, Ron, about Cisco. He may not have been where we wanted him to be financially in the beginning when he was with Tay, but we did see and we did find out that he is very marriage and relationship oriented, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So these are the things that we got to stop. We got to stop looking at the surface level of a thing and scratch the surface and go a little bit deeper. That's just, I had to say that. I had to say that. And I don't, everybody has the right to their opinion. I'm not disagreeing or trying to argue with anybody, but I just wanted to say that this is a man right here, Ron and JR. They are two men that are very authentic about who they are. They're not BSers. And trust me, because I've had some co-hosts on the show that were BSers. I ain't gonna call no names, Alex. I ain't gonna call no names, but you know, they're really real. They are who they claim to be, and they're who they are, and they're very good-hearted people. And that's not true of every man you're gonna meet. That's not true of every woman you're gonna meet, right? So, with that
And
being
I
said,
feel, to add
go
on to
ahead.
you, RB,
Go ahead.
I feel it's my actual duty to give some of the women and men on the audience the reality of the situation, because I actually, less now because I'm in a relationship, but I was out here. And a lot of people don't leave the house that much. You know what I mean? He might go out to a little cocktail bar once a month, 2 months there. You can't really get the full diagnostics of the dating market from there. I was boots on the ground. So I knew how the men were thinking. I knew how some of the women were thinking. I knew what was really going on. I have a full scope of all of this. Like, I could write 12 books. And it's not even just my opinion I give all the time. Sometimes I'm just giving y'all what's the reality of the situation, because everybody wants to be in love. Everybody want to get married. They want to do their little thing.
Right.
Sometimes you might have to swallow the real pill and not the
I'm sorry, my
pill.
mind went somewhere when you said swallow, but go ahead.
Oh dear.
You gotta swallow the real pill, not the
Oh
fantasy
yeah, he
pill.
did say yeah.
Some of these women gonna have to give up on
Medication. It's the
few things.
medication, y'all.
They got to give up on some of these fantasy dreams, a few of them. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, like, yo, this is what the real reality is. So you decide if that's what you want to do or that's what you're not. Like I said, if you're dating a guy who's younger and y'all ain't had a discussion of the kids, like I said, if I told my woman who's 2 years older than me, I can't marry you because you're 2 years older than me, I look like a scum of the earth to her, to my family, to her family, to the audience, anybody else out there. If I tell her in 2 years of wasting her time, I can't have a marry you because I actually decided I want another kid, I get a get out of jail free card. That's how important it is to have those type of discussions and things of that nature. So we all got to live in reality about how that is going. You know what I mean? If you want a Cisco who makes this dude's money over here with the locks, but look like Cisco with the height and the muscles, okay, how many guys are like that in the world? How many of them are going to be you know what I mean? You have to do the reality scope on what's going on here. And I think that, you know, there's a lot of good relations that can happen with just understanding. You know what I mean? If you got money, Cisco's married. If you got money and you understood his situation and say, you know, that's a good man right there, bring him here. I'll show you what to do with him, Tate. I'll show you how to get that man on his feet and how, you know what I mean? I know I got a vision for that. I know exactly what he needs.
Right.
That's what that woman did.
And you know what? I'm gonna add a little from a previous episode, Ron, that you co-hosted. You know, you talked about in other communities. Okay, if we step outside of the African American community, and we know that Cisco is Afro Latino. I hope I'm saying that right, or I hope that's how he defines himself. But we do know that he's Latino and he's African American, so I will say Afro Latino, right? But you talked about in a previous episode, probably a year ago, about how there in Texas you had some friends or some people you knew, and the Latino ladies, that their husbands, they put each other up on different jobs and opportunities and businesses, and they were able to build so much together because they worked together. Instead of trying to pull apart, they actually built a foundation, a strong foundation, and built financially together. And that's something that we see sometimes in our community, not all the time, but sometimes it's just not present.
Yeah, like I said, I see it a different lens. I believe women these days, the dating market is different. A woman can go get what she wants. I believe that women can go approach men. You know what I mean? I grew up traditional, very traditional. Like my granddad was General Motors, 45, 48 years, perfect attendance record, took care of 6 kids, traditional. My grandma never worked. You know, that Detroit man, the real man.
Wow. Yeah, that's
that
real.
type.
That's real old school. That's real
old school.
Mm-hmm.
Like so traditional that, you know what I mean, that actually hurt the family with the pressure that he put on my aunties, or how traditional they had to be and how it was. That started with my dad, who was very traditional. Mom never worked, you know, all that type of stuff. To me, where I started off traditional and I said, wait a minute, the world has changed. The whole dating market has changed. It's changed right before my eyes. It started out a certain way between me being 18 to 28 to now is different from 28 to 38, from 38 to 40. I even got to adjust or I'm going to be lost like everybody else. So I can't be as traditional because I'm not running through traditional women.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it sounds good.
Let me just say this, and let me just throw this out there to both of you, and you know, however you feel comfortable answering it, or whether you feel comfortable answering it or not. If you guys were married right now this minute, would you say that you would want your wife, your spouse, to be a stay-at-home mom? I'm going to start with JR. If you were, and I know you're not currently married right now.
If I were married, depends. If we have a child on the way, or you know, we've got a child and someone's going to need to stay at home and raise the child. Now, I wouldn't mind doing it, but typically I would be the breadwinner. The onus is on me to keep the bills paid while my child is, you know, growing and learning its formative year stuff. So if the situation is that she's at home as a mother to my child, raising my child, of course she can stay at home. However, if she wants to work, that's also up to her as well. That like I don't have that as a strict rule, but obviously I would prefer that she's working so that she has a sense of self and a sense of identity and all that stuff too that people attach to it.
Okay. Ron, you feel comfortable answering that question?
Yeah, I think like I said before, I think it's going to depend on the woman's age. if we both 40 plus, we both
Okay.
working. It just is,
Oh,
you
wait
know
a
what I
minute
mean?
now. What if
Our
y'all both?
goals,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm
our
interrupting. Go ahead.
goals are gonna be different. We gonna okay, now we want to retire, girls. So we both gonna need 2 incomes. We gonna try to multiply, get some business, whatever we're gonna do, we're gonna do it
Right. You
fast and we're
building
gonna
toward
do
that
it.
retirement.
Yeah, we working towards
But
that. So that's the
but let's
goal
go,
there.
Brian. Okay. That being said, let's go back a decade. Let's say you both let's
But
say you
I date younger. So let's
let's
say I
say
dated a woman that's 10 years
she's
younger than me.
early 30. Yeah, right. And you guys are trying to have
Nah,
children.
she's 10 years younger than me. She's 30, 34, 33. And then
Mhm.
she wants to have a kid. I decide I want to have another one. No, then yeah, I wouldn't expect her to have to work.
Okay. Okay.
Because the goal is gonna be different then. The goal is gonna be I'm gonna hold it down right now. You take care of the kid. And then maybe when I'm shifting more into like how my dad is with my stepmom, now he's shifted to retirement, but she's still working
Okay. Okay.
because of the age gap. So now,
Oh.
now she has working income coming into the household. He has his retirement, and they're working that together.
Oh, okay. Got
You
you.
see how that dynamic works?
Right.
So
And like
yeah,
you said, it's very dependent on on variables of age, where you are in life, whether you already have children, you determine not to have any more children or any children, and whether or not you are trying to have children. Like my daughter, a lot of you know, she married earlier this year, and her husband are trying right away for children, and he has already taken it upon himself. Like he's gotten a second job. Now he works remotely, mind you, but he's working here in the States, and then he's taken on a second job that is over in Europe. And because of the time difference, he can work both of those jobs, and he's perfectly content doing that because he doesn't want her stressing about money and finances and their household expenses while they're achieving this pregnancy and having children. So that's how he feels. But now he's a different kind of man. He's a different kind of guy. Not every guy is going to be like that. She's very blessed to have the kind of man that, like my dad said to my mom, you can work or you can stay at home. It's up to you. It's your choice. And I think that's the height of mental evolvement for a man to say that to a woman, that you can work or you can stay
Here's
at
the
home.
problem with why men can't do that no more. And this
Mhm.
new age these women got these crazy lifestyles.
Okay.
So, yeah, you don't gotta work, but you guys live in my home. I'm not upgrading my house and then you still not work. I'm not, you know what I mean? You got to be able to pertain within the lifestyle that I have. It's a lot of dudes make 60, 80. Yeah, your girl don't got to work, but she got to be able to lower her lifestyle in order to be with you. So if the girl makes 100K and they do make 60K, baby, you don't got to work, but we're living off 60K. Can you lower your lifestyle in order to do that? For me to be a traditional man to pay all the bills? I don't mind paying them. It's just we got to
Right.
pay it on my
Right.
lifestyle level.
Yeah. Now my mom, you're right. It's a different day and age because my mother was not the lifestyle back then when they were a young couple and before I came along and even after, the cost of living too, just the cost of living. Like
Well, it's a
uh
lot of it's a mindset. If I go
and
down
it's a
to
mindset,
third
yes.
ward and get me a little hood chick off the street and brought it to my house, she gonna think she gets married to Hugh Hefner. Look at the mansion.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? She gonna be content.
But now
Yeah.
here's the
Now,
problem
if
with
I
that,
go
Brian.
marry the girl that work on Wall Street, whatever, I usually date a
Yeah,
person. She gonna look at this like this is good for now, but I'm
for
ready to
now.
upgrade.
But here's the other problem too. So you get the hood chick and she comes in and she thinks you Hugh Hefner or you got his lifestyle. But here's the problem. So as you're married and you start taking her around and she starts meeting the other wives of your friends and your associates, your business associates, and she gets to visit their homes and she gets to see how many vacations a year they take. Guess what? Guess what? Little hood chick ain't gonna be so hood no more.
Maybe, or she might be still fearing about going back to the streets. But I'm taking care of everything. If I'm gonna date a girl like that, I'm gonna make sure she's debilitated. She gotta ask me for allowance every day.
Oh, what? Wait a minute now. Your wife is staying at home and she got to beg you for an allowance?
No, I'm saying if you're gonna do that, you gotta be realistic. If you're gonna date a woman on that lower tier than you, or you gonna get one of these guys. You heard about that one guy who married the girl from Kenya and brought her here. It's all over social media right now. And
Okay.
they had a baby together, and he was so happy. He's actually from Detroit. The guy was.
Oh, okay. The guy or
And he moved
the
her to
little lady
Vegas.
from Kenya. Okay.
Yeah, now she's then left him and got with this white guy in Vegas. She all in the golf cart. She looks totally different now. She got a whole killer makeover. She looks like a whole different woman. And now he's stuck with the child. She done left the child in him.
Wait a minute. What? I'm sorry. What happened when they got married? They had the baby, and what happened?
He moved her to the States. He's living in Vegas and stuff. And they stayed married for like a year. But then she left him and the child to get with some white dude in Las Vegas. It changed her whole look. Now she's posing for the Instagram and stuff. And she's like a whole different person.
Oh Lord. See, that's what I'm saying. You gotta
He
be
got
careful.
Yeah, but if he would have, he let her. If you're gonna do something like that, and you're a man and you want a lower tier woman that's gonna be impressed with where you're at, and you don't have to level up or anything like that, you got to handle it a different way.
Right. Yeah, that's true. We done got all off the topic. I know JR's over there just shaking his head like, Okay, look, this is the last thing before we wrap this thing up. Detroit. Uncle Tommy, Uncle Nephew, Cousin Tommy told us, look, we are coming right at you to Detroit. So we got some scenes, and I can't show all of it. But JR, what do you think about the fact that they're going to be showcasing my hometown where I was born and bred, Detroit, in another month? What do you think about that?
Well, it looks like it's gonna have some drama and some chaos.
Of course.
Yeah, like we did see some of the conversations, like especially sounded like elimination date type conversations happening. But different area, different city, maybe a different vibe. But just going off the little clips that we saw, not sure if there's much love left in Detroit, man. 'Cause in Philly, love didn't live here anymore, in the words of Minnie Riperton.
Oh, stop it. We are not like Philly. Stop it. No.
We're pretty close.
Yeah, you say that.
Jeez, OP. You're not helping, Ron. You're not helping. You're supposed to be helping. Okay. Ron, any thoughts? And don't give too much away, because we'll talk one-on-one after this, but just throw a few little breadcrumbs out to the audience about the Detroit season.
I mean, it looked real Detroitish.
Roller skating.
Those are the guys. That's what a Detroit guy look like. That's what they like. Them guys look just like a Detroit dude. They had the buffs on, Detroit gear. Detroit high Detroit dude move and act like so. Yeah, those
and
guys.
They gotta wear their hats indoors too, because it would not be Detroit if the men did not wear their hats indoors.
Yeah, it seemed like the Detroit guys, Detroit females, and Detroit men are used to each other. So, yeah, I think it's and Detroit culture is popping right now. I feel so. I think it's a good time to go there. I think yeah. I know I personally have a cousin that's on this cast. So yeah, I might even go. I mean, when they do something in Detroit, I might, if it ain't too cold, I might even come down and meet the cast.
And too cold for a person that lives in Texas is under 70 degrees, y'all. Just so you know.
If it's too cold, I might not go. But if it's good enough, if it's decent, I might go to a few watch parties down there and meet the cast and things of that nature and support Detroit. But yeah, Detroit men are gonna act like Detroit men. So there ain't gonna be no. You ain't gonna be able to pull them. Production is gonna be hard to pull them in certain ways and stuff like that. They get who they are. So it's gonna be very interesting. I think it's gonna be a good season.
I think so too. I think it's going to be very good. But what I couldn't believe is that it's starting in November. I was looking
Well, it's been
When
taped. It's been taped a long
it
time.
it's been taped a while ago, right,
Yeah.
right. But I know, I just saying because this season, the way this season was split up in half, Ron, the way we went on hiatus and then it came back to us, I was like, well, dang, it's almost the end of the year. I thought we were through with Ready to Love, but I'm glad they're bringing Detroit back. And for those of you who were here when I said this will probably be my last season of Ready to Love, okay. I changed my mind. I changed my mind. Okay. I changed my mind. I will be back, and hopefully, these wonderful gentlemen, co-hosts, Ron Freeman and Jr., or also known as Life is Reality, will be here by my side. Together so that we can bring you this, and I'm sure we'll have some interviews and things of that nature because I'm gonna get outside, Rob. Believe it or not, I'm gonna get
Oh,
outside.
really? Oh,
Yeah,
really?
they gonna be doing some stuff, some parties. I'm gonna have to be like a couple years ago we had Keena from Washington D.C. being our roving reporter because she was in D.C. But I'm gonna have to get out here and be outside for my audience. They deserve that, don't you think? They deserve that, Ron?
Yeah, that'd be cool if you did. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
like to see that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you gonna see that. You gonna see that. With that being said, Ron, please tell the people how they can find you and how they can reach out to you and follow you on social media.
It's the same for Facebook and Instagram as I am Ron Freeman. And like I
Hmm.
said, I keep it pretty updated on at least even check the stories and stuff too. You can find out what's going on in the city. If y'all ever in Houston, y'all need to know what's going on. You hit my DMs, hit me up, and I'll plug you in.
He would definitely do that because not only is he handsome, wonderful, he is also very generous and kind. I love that about him. So, see, that's what I'm talking about, ladies. Those are the traits that you want to be looking for. Um, is there anything else you want to share with us, Ron Freeman?
Oh no, good for now. Like I said, it was shout out to the Philly class. I think they did a good season, even with the break. I think
Yeah.
people that was left after the break saved the season and did a good job. So I applaud them for my castmates for doing their job and making it a good saving the show and making a good season.
That is so true. That is so true. All right then, JR, can you tell the people where they can find you on your different platforms on social media?
Yeah, sure. You can find me on JRX TV on Instagram, JRX TV on IG. Uh, there's a few stories here and there, mainly about uh, traveling, food, property, things like that, as well as
Mm-hmm.
health and well-being. On YouTube, I'm in the streets as Life is Reality. Um, and here you'll find more relationship content, relationship reviews, etc. So yeah, um, not hard to find. And, yeah, what you got to say, Ron? Where can people find you?
All right, yeah, I went before you, but
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
We covered him, and that's okay. That's okay. JR. JR is probably hungry. He is not. I've not heard him munching this whole, what is it? Oh, over 3 hours. So that's very good for
true.
JR. So
Yes.
so he's probably lightheaded at this moment right now, guys. You have to understand, okay? You have
Mhm.
to understand. I want to thank all of you that stayed with us to the end. If you didn't see the beginning, the middle, go back and watch the video. There is so much we covered. There's a lot of wisdom between Brother JR, and Brother Ron Freeman that you want to catch. So please go back and catch that, guys. Be sure you like the video. It helps support the channel. There's some more things that I'm working on doing to bring some different points of view and different shows to this channel as well. So I can only do that if you really support by subscribing, liking the video. And you got the ways at the bottom on the ticker how to follow me on IG is still actually Aubrey. TikTok is actually Aubrey. Facebook is actually Aubrey. And if you want to share and send a couple of dollars, I got my PayPal up. Someone asked me about supporting and they didn't do Cash App. So I got the PayPal going now. And so I've got my Cash App up. And thank you for those who have been supporting through those other means. I appreciate you. Love you always. I'm going to get better. I'm claiming victory over this physical situation and challenge I'm going through, but that's another matter for another day. Love you guys, and we're gonna shimmy and shake on out of here as always. Bye now.